quick tap out. James Di Virgilio was the first one to win the centre clearance, been tackled by Anthony Rosado. The two young guns of both these sides added early. We've got another ball up, and it will be up there is Moe Ruckwe there. It is Staff. I thought it might have been. Quick comes out towards Suter, who got tackled quickly. And again, we're going to do this one again. So Campbell Staff taking the ruck duties ahead of Dylan Farrell, who looks to be starting forward. He got his hands on that again, did Staff. Musil though was at ground level. Quick kick goes inside 50 to the fourth first time. Stanley dropped the mark that he should have taken. Falls out to Jacobson around his body, left foot. Bouncing. There's the first one. 42 seconds in. A drop mark by Stanley, and swooping was James Jacobson.
Yeah, that's a really good start there for Morwell. But we spoke about it last week. Dan Musil, his follow-up efforts, and that was once again what he did there. He didn't quite get up for the tap. But just at ground level at half forward, he picked it up off the deck and a rush kick. Was it Lee that dropped the mark or Stanley? Stanley dropped the mark and Jacobson just pounced on it and snapped over his shoulder for a brilliant goal.
So about 45 seconds into the game, and on the Harvey Norman computer skip saying scoreboard, we have Morwell 1 goal straight, 6 Moe yet to score.
Ideal start there for the Tigers. Michael Jacobson getting a goal inside the first minute. Ball back in the middle. James, I said James, didn't I? James Jacobson. Ball back in the middle. It's Musil and Staff. Musil gets hands on this one down to Jacob Wood. He's tackled immediately by Rob Michaelides, and the umpire will ball this ball up.
Wasn't it great to see Jacob Wood back out there for the Lions?
Absolutely. He's lining up against Rosado, so that's a great matchup. Staff gets his hand on this one again down to Wood, wrapped up straight away by Rosado on this occasion, and another ball up.
Got a fair leap as Campbell Staff.
He does, but like Scuzz said, Musil gets a bit more ball around that ground level. Michaelides feeds a handball out, looking for Britton. Handball is under pressure. Goes back there. Seemed to throw by the umpire about 50 metres away. Must have had a good view on it. Wood wheels around, cut off nicely by Michaelides at the top of the 50. His defensive 50 goes out wide the other side of the ground looking for Hutchison. Good hands out in front of Renitz. Wheels around inside, moving the ball quickly. Scrappy kick going forward. Tommy Long at ground level leads a race. Beaten to it by Britton on this occasion. Working hard there at ground level was Matt Johnson, and locks the ball inside 50 for a ball up 45 metres around from Morwell's goal. Yeah, that was once again some really good ball movement from all. They switched the play out. We've seen this the first quarter against Moe last time, so Moe's going to have to make sure that they're onto that, because Morwell can score really quick from them switches of play. But it was a turnover. Rob Michaelides, when he gets the footy, he's going to hit targets.
Another stoppage inside forward 50. Stanley does well, tries to squeeze a handball out, has to go and get it again. Rosado was out there. Stanley picked it up, took on a couple of tacklers. Johnson was one of those. The umpire said holding the ball. Quick lip play on by Wilson, delivers to Giath, who drops it. Bifford though, half back flank, the run and the dash from Tyson Bifford, delivers out wide. Couldn't quite mark it out there was Scott Van Dyke, close to the boundary. And over it goes. 3 minutes in, the Tigers lead it by 6 points.
It's good seeing Tyson Bifford steaming off the half-back flank, isn't it?
It's exciting.
Very good. Unable to find his target on this occasion. Boundary throw in. Musil works his way to the front. Gets it down to Rosado. Feeds it back to Michaelides. Looking for a runner and getting it. Looks to be Zach Anderson. His kick misses his target. Tommy Long drops the mark at ground levels. McDonald handles over the top to Siddle. Wheels around to the top of the 50. Looking to hit up with a teammate. Misses everything. Over the back is Charlie Rennis. Should see this rush for a minus. No, Sherry go through. Ball back out by Hutchison. He just drops it. Picked up by Jacobson. Tackle. Great tackle by Hayden Prestige. That was a fresh, airy rush, trying to rush through that one.
Prestige kicks it out. It's a wobbly kick though, and picked off by McDonald, who will mark it in front of the can bar here at Moe. The breeze going across his right shoulder, Springer.
Yeah, it saw it's going to be a tough kick from him.
Well, let's see. He's going to back himself. They're calling for the kick around the top of the 50, but McDonald said, I don't care. I'm going to go back and put this one on its way. And he's kept it to the near side, and maybe he should have listened to his Tigers teammates out of bounds on the full.
That's embarrassing when you do that, isn't it?
Especially in front of
Never done it. Fresh in front of the can bar.
Never done it. Here we go.
he meant he's never had a shot on goal. So Stanley has a free kick hard on his defensive back line. Great mark over the top by Dylan Farrell, top of his defensive 50. Handballs to Darnell Green, who's standing still. Don't know why. Disappointing. Farrell didn't kick that, because it went to the same spot anyway.
quickly goes inboard, tried to find out Wilson, but he dropped it. Mutke was out there, didn't take possession, tapped it forward. Ainsworth is there, grabs it. Handball's out wide to the run. Looks to be out there, is it Fleming? Handball's backwards now. Quick kick goes forward by Ainsworth again. Close to the boundary line. Siddle's there, he's got 2 to beat, does nicely. To Hogarth, gets it to Wilson. Wilson went to Handball, then kicked down the line to Hillier, who's on the wing and took the mark. He looks to come back inboard. It's a daisy cutter, missing all targets, but Jath swooped on it quickly. The run from behind to Anderson, gave it to Michaelides, 54 metres out, kicks it to the fat side. Jacobson's there again, he's got one. Johnson closes quickly on Stanlake, handballs. Quickly now finds Greg. He kicks it out wide, relieves the pressure, and gets it in the hands of Ainsworth on his defensive 50.
So under pressure are the Moe Lions and aren't able to hit targets across their half forward line. Ainsworth goes backwards to Redditz. Really good forward pressure by Morwell, not allowing any free ball movement for the Lions as Redditz has to go long down the line. Seeing himself as Musel. He has a fresh air swing at it and it's going to go over his head for a boundary throw in. Just favouring Morwell's side of centre wing here at Ted Summit. 6 minutes gone.
I like Moe's set up in their forward line. If they can just get it in there, they've got Dugan one out in the forward 50. I like that option.
Ball comes back into play. Big tap out there from Staff. Didn't really go to Moe's advantage. Anderson just put down Blazer, but the umpire said a free kick to Wilson. Anyone see that one for the Tigers?
I didn't see that one.
So the Tigers lead at the moment by 6 points. They got the only goal. It's the only score so far. And we're 6 minutes in. Wilson's kick goes inboard to the half-back. Running attacking player there was Hogarth. Hogarth kicks towards the half-forward line. Hillier direction, but it went over his head. Ainsworth tried to pick that one off, couldn't mark it over for another boundary throw-in.
Both teams are just trying to get used to these windy conditions out there. A few times going forward, Maul have just put a bit too much on it and it's gone over their heads. And Moe is struggling to get any fluency coming off their half-back flank.
Musel hit it straight down. Hitting the pack there was Hillier at pace, didn't quite gather it. Blazer did well, ground level, underground handball it was to Staff, who's working hard at ground level now, is Campbell Staff. And there's a big opportunity for him today, isn't there, Troy? Because Mulroy goes out of the side and Staff, on the last game, could cement his spot in this side.
So put his hand up. Ruck contest, Musel follows up really well, works the ball inside 50, paddling the ball on the ground. Darnell Greb cuts it off, goes long down the line, and that wind carries that one 10 metres over, out of bounds on the full, and it's going to come back inside Moore's 50.
Just down at ground level, you can experience the future with the new Golf. Of course, Brad Thomas is down there for us. That wind, is it favouring any direction, anyone's advantage?
It's sort of favouring the far side of Morwell's pocket, if that makes sense.
No.
So Southside Primary School then.
Okay, that's
very much across the face.
Makes a little bit more sense. Ainsworth picks this one off, gave it to Stanlake. Stanlake's kick in the middle of the ground, Lee's there. Coming the other way there was Cantrell. Blazer though picked it off, got on the boot. He got one over the shoulder. As Callaway it was coming through, gave one over the shoulder. And the downfield goes to Carl Woodkey. Right on the wing for the Lions.
Quick around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. The Gippsland Power Boys have won 67 to 51.
Great win. Good come from behind. They've done that well. Lee Brown has unlocked the secret for the Gippsland Power Boys. As a quick kick, Stanley goes high and long inside 50. Farrell's in a good spot. Didn't go for it though. A big spoil from behind. And it gets out towards the defensive 50. Hillier handballs to Anderson. Anderson handball was tapped and nearly picked up by Bifford coming the other way, but it goes over in the end. And another boundary throw in inside forward 50 for the first time, Paul Carter for Moe.
That is 5 to Morwell so far, 1 Moe now.
Riley Hogarth's gone to Carl Mutke, and it looks to be, is that Anderson?
Taylor Weatherall
has gone to Dugan.
So from that stoppage, Soon a handball over his head to Callaway, now to Musel. Quick run on this one time, it's Callaway. Callaway and Cantrell's going to confuse me all afternoon. McDonald swings around, one-on-one over the top. Hutchison going back. Took a strong mark in front of Redditz, and Redditz certainly made him earn it.
He had good hands last week, didn't he, Beasley? He started off well.
He's had a couple of marks already today, but that was just that open space out the back for Morwell again, wasn't it? They played that really well, and Hutchison led into that really nicely.
You mentioned Cantrell earlier. He's just sucking in the deep ones. I think he got a whack around the ribs and got a bit winded, but he looks to be okay on the outer side of the ground.
And nothing has really happened in the last 30 seconds because we know Daniel Hutchison loves a lot of me time. He is directly in front. He's a slow approach. Right foot, you'll know by his reaction. The one copper. Thank you, has his first.
I mentioned the double cobra to him last week and he didn't believe me. If we weren't on radio, you wouldn't know. But yeah, that's a good ball movement from Auburn. They hit targets. And one thing that's happened in the first, say, 10 minutes of this game is both sides are just turning the footy over a little bit with this wind going across the ground. So that time all just use their targets going through the middle parts of the ground. There's a lot of space out the back door for them all, and Hutchison led into that and marked strongly.
10-minute mark of the first quarter, 2 goals straight mauled. Maui get to score on the Harvey Norman computers, Gippsland scoreboard.
Are we liking the matchups at the moment, Troy? You liking what you're seeing? Very good. Back in the middle. This time it's Farrell got the tap out. Running back there was Wood. He sweeps the handball out wide to Ainsworth. His kick goes high, looking for Mutke. Over the back is Hogarth. Mutke went front square, now got it. Quick kick out wide. Massis was there. So was there on that occasion Luke Webber. Kicks to the hot spot. Lee's going to fly 4 deep and give away. No, he didn't give away. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He was 4 deep but got right in the back of Giath and gave away that free kick as Giath will square this up to Michaelides. A shepherd off the ball from Hearn on Dugan. Allows Michaelides an easy mark. Kicks down the line. Dropped there by Callaway. It's 2-on-1. Moe lead it. Bifford has it. Close to the boundary line. 51 out. Kicks to the hot spot. No one back there for the Lions. All Tigers. And Musa will clean up and kick it out wide towards Hillier. Close to the boundary line it goes over in front of Zach Cantrell on a boundary throw-in.
The missed opportunity there for the Lions, missing a target inside 50 was Biffin.
Just what we got back to earlier with the Hogarth on Mookie matchup, I would say more we're going to try and use that as Hogarth's got really nice skills coming out. I think Mookie one-on-one would be way too strong for Hogarth.
So that pans out, boundary throw-in. Mookie has to take the ruck duties here with Musil. Blazer runs this and pace gathers it on the left foot. There's your $4 and $20 a day, boys, to James Blazer. The first one of the afternoon, and he is so good at winning those contested balls from stoppages.
Yeah, he definitely is, and I like the way he hit that at speed, didn't he, boys? He got on his bike and he was really attacking coming out of the stoppage. There was a forward 50 throw-in, and he just hit the pack with speed and he was out and finished beautifully, a snap around his body. But there was Mookie again with his strength in the ruck. He's a really strong boy. I think Moore's going to have their work cut out with him up forward.
So it's now 2 goals straight Moore. Murray 1 goal straight. We're at the 12.5-minute mark of the first quarter, and that's on the Harvey Norman computers Gippsland scoreboard.
Ball back in the middle now, 6-point margin.
Good to have you back, Troy.
Finally get one on the board. Farrell in the ruck up against Musil. Musil wins it, follows up with his third effort as Rosado gets his hands on the footy.
A quick handball there from Callaway. Lee does the work. Van Roy couldn't get it. Crashing his way through there was Austin Byrne. Gave it back to Blazer. Kick towards centre forward front spot. Michael Funky Duncan there. And that's the Duncan that TTU wanted. Kicks it out wide towards Anderson. Anderson comes back inboard. Rosado's on his own. Stops. Props. He looks to come to this near side. Puts Suter under a little bit of pressure, but he marks it. Moe get back. Good defence in numbers. Troy Makepeace just struggling with his breath at the moment. Guns inboard to Rosado. Rosado can go out wide. The Tigers have got 3 on the far wing. Anderson's one of those. He marks. He plays on. Just chips one over the top to Johnson, who dropped the mark, but they've got all the numbers there. And a free kick given away there by the coach, James Blazer, to Matt Johnson. 13 minutes gone in this first quarter. A 6-point margin. Johnson now called to play on. Goes out wide to Callaway. And
A lot of numbers in Moore's forward 50 here and there, boys.
there he is as Callaway just decides to kick it high to the hot spot. Eleni Britton's going to fly at the back. He's got a good vertical lead. And over the top of Wood, and I guess that's not too hard, but Hayden Britton certainly has a good vertical leap on him. Took the mark. In the end, delivered uncontested, Scuzz.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I think he just read the ball flight better in the wind, didn't he? He knew it was going to drop a little bit earlier, so he just got that front position and was basically uncontested when he marked it.
So on a slide angle, the breeze is just coming across his right shoulder. He's kicking towards the South Street end and puts it on its way. It starts it right and comes back nicely. And who said this wind is playing tricky conditions? The Tigers are 3 straight, Moe are 1 straight.
Yeah, and there's just a bit of class there from Britton. He just knew where the ball was going to drop, and he just found his way to the front. He was probably not in the right position earlier. It was a really good kick from Cantrell. He could have just blazed away and bombed it on the head. 15, 20 metres out from goal, but he just sat it out, probably 30 metres out, and there was just enough room there that Britain could lead out and take a really nice mark.
Morwell's lead back out to 12 points at the 14-minute mark of the first quarter. The Tigers are 3 straight 18 to Murray 1 goal straight 6. On the Harvey Norman computers, Gippsland scoreboard.
So Farrell goes into the middle now for the Lions. Well, Musil, who's going to be the backup ruckman for the Tigers today with Isaac Abbas out? It'll be a big job for Musil. This time I'll give it to Musil. The Tigers don't win the clearance, but out wide, Callaway's been good out there. Cantrell again. Kennedy, ground level at centre half back, has to go get his football again. And jumping in there was Massis to cause the stoppage. We'll get a ball up right on the attacking 50. Webber's been fairly active early. Fry got his hands on. Back to Suter. Quick handball though to Rosado. Now to Johnson. Now they've got space in front of Johnson. He runs. Delivers to the 50. Just holds up in the breeze. Ball comes to ground. Reynolds is there. Handballs to himself. Johnson's in the way. Reynolds comes crashing out. Johnson, little sidestep. And a nice little chip over the top to Hutchison. Surely can't kick it from there. The breeze will be straight in his face. So he decides to come around to the top of the 50 to Wilson directly in front. And that is a great hit, as you can hear from our special comments man at ground level, Brad Thomas.
Sorry about that.
Tom Wilson goes back towards that pocket, towards the direction of Hutchison at 2 on 2. Up it goes again. Jacobson got driven into the ground, and there's a free kick. And, well, just overzealous there was Fleming. And, well, I suppose he's not going to kick this goal from where he is there. This will be the hardest kick, I'd say.
He'll have a crack.
Well, Jacobson, he's got one. Paul?
While he's lining up, interesting stat at the moment, Moore have taken 5 marks inside 50, so maybe the Murray backman needs to tighten up a bit.
Well, this will be a miraculous goal. It'll be our 4 and 20 goal of Davey. Decides to pass it off to Hutchison over his head, and marked back there by Massis for the Lions.
Massis goes wide to his defensive back pocket, finds his coach in James Blazer, but again just a bit stagnant are the Lions, not able to get any free ball movement going at the moment. So Blaze has to go long down the line, hugging that boundary on the outer side. Contest forms, beats everyone, goes over the back, leading the race back there is Hogarth, but beating all comers is the boundary line. Boundary throw in on the outer wing, on true centre wing here. 17 minutes gone, 12-point margin in favour of the Tigers. Do have a very slight breeze advantage, but the wind is predominantly going straight across the ground. Farrell gets the ball down to Massis. He's tackled straight away. His kick goes up and under. Hitting the pack hard there was Van Roy. Chain of handballs, ends up with a scrappy kick. Can't get his hands on his Jaden Van Dyke. Great contest out on the half-forward flank. Maul win the contest. Fleming, another fierce tackle on Hillier. Scrappy kick going forward. Farrell tackles Jameson down the ball and gives away a free kick. Half-forward flank, he plays on quickly over the top. GF gets crunched, sandwiched in between 2 Moe Lions. Bifford at ground level, feeds a handball out to Wood. GF putting the pressure on, can't quite get there, but enough to create a 50-50 contest down the line. Mutke leads Hogarth to the ball and carries the ball over for a boundary throw-in. An interesting matchup, the Hogarth and Mutke one. If Moe can get some quick ball movement inside 50, they might be able to take
just some one-on-ones, don't they?
full advantage of
their
that.
one-on-one.
But Maul's been really good at putting pressure around the middle of the ground.
So from the boundary tap back, there was Farrell tapped it straight down. The Tigers have got numbers there though. Johnson's one of those. Handballs backwards to Kennedy. He goes further backwards to Callaway, to Duncan now. Kicks down the line. Drop mark there by Fleming. Half-back flank. Good enough though to pick it up to Biffin. Biffin handball goes over the top. Looking for his teammate close to the boundary line out there is Jaden Van Dyke. And the free kick didn't have it. So Jaden Van Dyke wins the free kick on a half-back flank for the Lions. Now he comes in board to Stanley. Hutchison comes the other way, calls the contest, gathers it, gives it to Hillier. Hillier kicks it inside. He's trying to get it over the top there to Callaway. It's 2 on 1, close to the boundary line. Over it goes. Boundary throw-in, right idea. Just didn't quite have the penetration on the kick.
Around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland in the AFL. Lions up by 16 points over North Melbourne. And the Demons are trailing the Magpies by 16 points halfway through the second quarter.
From the inside 50 stoppage, handball comes out the back there to Stanlake. Now Biffin has to put on some afterburners to get around to Jacobson, does so easily in the end. Kicks it high and long, and that wind causing havoc. And we've seen it a few times here at Ted Summit Reserve. The wind gets hold of the football and takes it toward the South Street Primary School direction.
It'd be interesting to see in the second quarter if it's a wind thing or if it's maybe more just putting too much pressure on the Lions, just not allowing them to get allowed defensive 50 50, so we'll monitor that as the second quarter comes, as the ball gets thrown back over the fence, goes to, is that Cantrell? Yep. Cantrell's going to go backwards to Hogarth. Hogarth has got options behind him as well in Van Roy. Instead goes inside to Wilson. Wilson can now go inside the corridor and he'll find Will Kennedy. Kennedy's got Duncan over the top. He elects to go further afield and always goes in between both of them. Webber puts pressure on. The cutaway.
Great
tackle by Wood. He plays on through Greg. Greg goes inside 50. Numbers back there for the Tigers. And cutting the ball off nicely is Weatherall.
Kicks it out towards Duncan, half-back flank for the Tigers. Again, this is the Duncan that TTU wanted. It could be a familiar trend all afternoon. As Duncan goes back to Weatherall, defensive 50, they go out wide with a switch to Hogarth. Now they're on the far side, Wilson's there. Wilson, half-back flank, just gets held up, good defence by the Lions. As now Wilson has to take his time and he goes down the line. A good lead-up option there from Johnson. Just holding on to the football now are the Tigers. They lead it late in this first quarter. A 12-point margin. Straight kicking so far, both sides. Nice little check kick from Johnson found Musil. That was 20 metres down the field. Musil again chips it over the top. Well, this is nice patient play from the Tigers. They've worked it up towards half forwards in the hand of Hutchison. They're looking for now, need another forward to come up and lead. Hearn offers, ignored. Hutchison now just kicks it high and long. And they did so well right to that point. Because Farrell took the easiest of mark across half-back.
Tom Fleming's not afraid to throw his body on the line, is he? He's a couple of fierce tackles and then he just launched from about 5 deep there. Didn't get anywhere near the ball, but he's certainly throwing his body on the line.
It's now Murray's turn. Both sides.
Charlie Reynolds, handballs around the back to Biffin. Again, Biffin goes long down the line, hugging that outer side boundary. Mutke sets himself. Van Roy gets to the front at ground level. Johnson's been busy earlier in this first quarter. Lovely left foot kick over the top to Wilson. He wheels around quickly. Goes inside 50. Hillier over the back as he's Fleming further the lines. Gets to the ground level. Stanley can't find the handle. Elects to knock it off the ground. Goes to Butler. Butler handballs over the top to Greg. Scrappy football from the lines. Pressure comes from Siddle. Greg does enough to get a handball over to Stanley. Now they're away. Goes down the wing. Webber provides a but again, another easy mark. Missed opportunity. Sees the ball go over for a bounty.
The mark count at the moment is 30 to Moore and 9 to Moe.
Yeah, well, certainly
using the footy better, aren't they, boys? It's a bit scrappy for Moe at the minute. They need to fix that up.
Certainly is. Boundary throw in. Free kick from this stoppage going the way of the Tigers. And Farrell's not too sure what he did wrong there.
Hand on the shoulder.
There's lots of people in that protected zone area there, but that rule's gone out of the books. Musil's dangerous kick goes inboard towards Van Roy. Lee gives Van Roy a bit of pressure, knocks him off the contest, does well, does Nathan Lee. Kicks it out wide, Van Dyke's out there, can he keep it in? No, he can't. It goes over for a boundary throw-in.
That's the target. He needed to hit that target because then Van Dyke will be running inside 50 with no pressure, have a shot on goal.
Yep, and it's those ones that the Tigers are actually hitting their targets going inside forward 50. So a disappointing one there, but we've got a stoppage, attacking 50 for the Lions. 23 minutes gone. First quarter here from Ted Summerton Reserve, the final home and away game for season 2017 as Blazer works hard from the stoppage. Got one, a free kick as well. And, that's what you want to see from your coach. He is an amazing player. And will go very well in this year's True Award and Rodder Medal winner award, you would think.
Absolutely. He's lining up for goal. He's probably kicking into the breeze a little bit. He likes to go to the corridor. Nathan leaves by himself. Bit of a lax marking there by the Tigers.
Nearly off, wasn't he?
Nearly played on. He's got an option out wide. This is misses the target. Goes over the top. Britton there. Goes forward now for the Tigers. Finds McDonald. Great pressure by Luke Webber. Creates a turnover. McDonald.
Well done, McDonald.
Going hard as Nathan Lee. Putting his head over the ball as McDonald. All to no avail as the Lions get the ball out now. Tommy Long goes down the line to Jacob Wood. Great contest there by Duncan. That's not a free kick, that's a mark, so Nathan Lee can't take advantage.
I reckon Nathan Lee might just need to come to the bench for a bit of a spell, I reckon. Just to recompose
inside 50 to find Dylan Farrell leading out from the goal square. Sorry, Scott, it was a nice kick by Jacob Wood, and Dylan Farrell line up directly in front, 30 metres out.
No, yeah, that's right, you're exactly right. It was a beautiful kick and a good call, Troy. Nathan Lee, just lost it just a little bit, didn't he? He threw the ball back a little bit aggressive to his own player because he's disappointed himself. So just recompose yourself, come off, have a spell. As Farrell looks to get Moe second directly in front. He started at left, he gets it back nicely. Beautifully done. The Lions are back in it, and it's all through. Dylan Farrell, a big resting ruckman.
Yeah, he's a definite target up there for Moe. He's got really strong hands. We've seen that at both ends of the ground so far, and he's straight into Hearn as well, and letting him know that he's the main man up there. But Moe just needed to keep hitting targets. They're getting enough of the footy, and I'm sure around the ball they're pretty even in stats, but it's just when they get it, they're just not hitting targets. They've had a really good 4 or 5 minute patch here where they're a chance to get a few more goals on the board.
Morwell leading by 6 points at the 25-minute mark of the first quarter. Morwell of 3 straight 18, Moe 2 straight 12 on the Harvey Norman Computers Gippsland scoreboard.
Back in the middle, Newsall tapped it down. Michaelides was there, won it. Handball out wide to the wing of Wilson. Left foot delivery, just at the toes of Johnson, but he's so small, he bent over, pick it up nicely again. Back to Wilson, to Gia. Got held off the football. No, the umpire said play on. Stanlake, the run and draw handball was nice to Biffin. Right foot kick goes down the line. On top of the head there of Van Dyke, and a good spoil over the back by Michael Funky Duncan. Of course, the better Duncan, and over go for a boundary throw in. That's about 5 times in the first quarter.
Do we call him Funkin?
Well, we have to be very careful with that. Yeah. Funkin. Now the Chunkin's gone out of their side. As a ball comes back into play, Staff tapped it down. No one can really win it for the stoppage. Mielsen does well, picked it up, spun around, handballed over the top. Michaelides just waited to get it. There, Di Virgilio was the one that swooped on it. And we're going to free kick.
Out of bounds on the full.
Out of bounds on the full. Lost complete track of that football on that occasion.
The ball has spent majority of this quarter on the outer side of the ground. We are 26 and a half minutes gone. 6-point margin. No blemishes on the scoreboard for either side. 2 goals to Moe and 3 goals to the Tigers, as the wind has carried this ball over a decent way over the other side of the ground as Tommy Wilson gets it back.
Tommy Wilson's 9th kick for the quarter, guys.
He's been very good. He's positioned himself on that outer wing very well. Goes along down the line, half forward flank. Set himself at the front. Great contest. Stanley puts his head over the ball, works the ball to Butler. Butler goes back to where the ball came from. Di Virgilio gets it at ground level after his initial effort. Massis goes to ground, handballs back to Blazer, over the top to Farrell. Farrell links up with Butler, who's followed up his nice work. His chiselling pass finds Hayden Prestige on the lead, half forward flank. Going to go inside 50, got to go long and direct. Goes about 40 metres out, set himself as Hearn, getting almost cut off by his teammate. Working back there is Musil, putting some pressure on, helping out his defenders. Blazer puts his head over the ball. Hogarth has a fresh air swing at it, goes to ground. Dugan there can't quite get the handle on it, and we'll have the ball up directly in front of Moe's goal, 40 metres out.
27 and a half minutes gone. Moe are 2 straight 18, 2 straight 12. The Tigers are 3 straight 18. But it's inside the forward 50 for the Lions. Kennedy tried to crash through a Butler tackle. The umpire said no. No prior opportunity. My ball. It's been a good little arm wrestle, good battle, big moments for Monticello's. Corona extra just $46 a case. Bought 2 for 86, a big tap out. Wood was there. Van Dyke also coming the other direction. Got tackled and got one high. So Van Dyke is probably too far out to score with this breeze.
You sit it to the hot spot and give Dylan Farrell a chance to have a run and jump at it.
And that's exactly what he does. Farrell's there. Over the back was Dugan, grabbed it in the goal square. Whacked it on his left boot, put it through the middle. And that was a great goal. As Ash Dugan gets his first of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what he can do, can't he? He hasn't had a lot of the ball so far, Dugan, but he's that potent in front of goal. He can just kick 3 or 4 goals and have an impact on the game without many touches, but it's probably more lack of opportunity for Dugan so far today. Moe, their scores are level, and Moe have had probably less opportunity than the Tigers, but they've got to make sure that they keep it up. It's good that they're still in the game at the Lions. 28-minute mark, 3 goals straight apiece.
Back in the middle.
Usual tried to grab it out of the ruck, but Massis gets a kick forward as the siren goes. It is quarter time here at Ted Summerton. Moe get one right on the buzzer through Ash Dugan to square the scores. It is Moe 3 straight 18 and Morwell 3 straight 18.
And you're listening to Gippsland Live on Terra FM. Don't forget, you're about to get things underway here. The scores are all level. We have a cracking game of football, as you'd expect. 2 rivals, up they go. Musil tapped it straight down to Michaelides. Gave it back to Musil, left foot kick, goes to a forward 50. Stanley worked his way into the front spot, and it was a very nice grab. Good defensive work Campbell's staff. On the wing, Jacob Wood presents it half forward, goes over his head. Dugan was there, flying Van Dyke. Couldn't mark. Great front and square by Byrne. Handballs to Wood. He's right on 40 metres, right on the boundary line. Flying shot at goal, hot spotted in. Puts in the streets. 2-3 bites at it. And the umpire's called a push.
Mark.
He initially called a push, I believe.
Wow, that would have
would have been very harsh because it was certainly in his side. It was just pure strength.
It's that match-up that Sculls was talking about in the first quarter.
He's on a tight angle though. He's only 3 or 4 metres out from goal. He should put this one through to take the lead for the Lions. Carl Woodkey comes in and hits the post.
Come back to him.
And it certainly did. So a minor score to kick things off in the first minute. Paul Carter.
And on the Carver Country scoreboard, Murray hit the front for the first time today, 3-1-19, leading Moore 3 goals straight.
We go around the grounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland. We have Traralgon leading Warrigal by 17 points at quarter time. Druin up by a point over Bairnsdale. Sale 5 goals straight to 1, taking 0.
Gee whiz.
And Liam Gaffer 7 points up at quarter time over Maffra.
Hogarth, big kick in, outside 50. Long was the one that was flying, but a quick kick off the ground there by Suda. Giath put his body on the line, gave it to Michaelides. Michaelides' handball was picked off by Ainsworth. Ainsworth just got his handball smothered though, now it's in dispute. And we're on the wing and everyone jumps on top of each other as they do. And we're going to ball up.
And just to recap, guys, Gippsland Power 9-13, 67 defeated the Western Jets 6-15, 51.
A huge second half there from Gippsland Power. From this stoppage, couldn't quite win it there. Looked to be a Byrne for the Lions. Quick tackle by Rosado. So 2 youngsters going at it. They've got great young players both these sides. Good work, ruck work by staff. Wilson continuing on for that blistering first quarter. Handballs out towards Rosado. That man head over it. Now Anderson comes to help. Michaelides so cool and calm under pressure. This though nearly picked off the handball. Wilson was up to it. Rosado now handballs back to Anderson. Kick down the line though. Just missed the target, but Suda was there, grabbed it, gave it back to Wilson. This man's on fire for the Sale Greyhounds. Kick to the nice top of the 50. McDonald, it's an open forward line. He goes to the hot spot, to the fat side, I should say, where Duncan is all on his own and takes a mark. As Duncan will chip it over the top to Giath, who will mark on his chest and should have no trouble with the distance. The accuracy could be an issue.
Geez, that's great running by that young fella. He was on the half back line taking a handball, received and just sprinted down forward.
Certainly is. Koi Giath is a wonderful athlete, although not the best footballer in his family, as CJ is about to be drafted at the end of this year, and his younger brother Tao won the league best and fairest in the under-12s of the Central Gippsland this year. So Giath looking to make a name for himself in the family and misses to the far side.
Big build-up, and that's what happens.
Yep.
I'll tell you what happened there. It was a Suda released handball, wasn't it, up on the wing, which allowed Wilson to go forward with some speed, which opened up the forward line for Moore.
So we Biffin to bring things back into play for the Lions, who plays onto himself, went to go left, come back to the right.
Got nothing up there though.
Right foot, so he just has to kick it home, and you're exactly right. There's no one there except for Hayden Britton, who plays on quickly, got tackled, got his handball away. Now the Lions, now they've got something, Troy. As Darnell Gregg comes in the middle, gave it to Butler. They're away because they go over the top. Is Farrell, Butchie's there, marks, they can get it over the top. They got 2. Turn around, Carl. Carl says, I don't care, I can kick 75 metres into the breeze. I'm going to put this one through.
Here's,
I hope this works out.
you're right. It's not like he's 30 metres out, is it?
No, he's going to have to kick for about 55.
Live and die by the sword. He's going to have to go back and back himself now. Making his way to the 50. Puts a ball on the boot. The wind's going to get a hold of this one and drag it across the face. Contest at ground level. Tap to the goal line and bounces over before any boot can get to it. And we'll have a minor score.
Scales, you've been a power forward in the time. You've just got to turn around, don't you?
No, you've got to have a look, don't you? You could have had anyone in the goal square. He had 2 options there. Ended up not making the distance, which is probably the worst thing that could have happened.
Yep. Hogarth plays onto himself, kicks out towards Anderson, missing it. Butler's out there for the Lions. Sweeps a handball. Inboard, 1-2. Van Dyke has it. Goes back towards the boundary line, but Wilson picked it up for the Tigers. Left foot kick right down the middle. Wilson has not missed a target. He's had how many, Paul?
That is now 15.
He's had 15. He's going at 100%. The Tigers transfer it to the wing. Giath was there. He can get on towards Britton, who's created a little bit of separation for Darnell Gregg. Now he marks. Johnson presents short. So's Hutchison. Now they work back. He's going to unload with a long bomb. He's got good penetration on it to Hutchison. Great spoil though by Reynolds. Getting getting back, getting a fist on it and getting a boundary throw in.
He did well there, Rennes, because I thought he was well out of position. That was a great kick by Hayden Britton. Yeah, over the side of Hutchison, but Charlie Rennes got back there nicely and was able to create a spoil.
He read it very well.
He did. Rennes, mate. Down his own, ball goes over the back, leading the race back there is Austin Burns. Sockers the ball off the ground, goes straight to that man, Wilson. His handball, underground handball, goes to Hillier. Pressure comes, feeds the ball back to Gia. Gia measures his pass over the top, great kick.
And all the numbers.
Finds Manor Johnson by himself, just floating in behind the pack, and will line up for goal. Tight angle, and the wind will not be in his favour, but he's a very talented footballer, and will back himself every step of the way here. 6 minutes gone, Maui lead by 1 point. He will definitely hit the scoreboard. For his sake, he hopes it'll be 6 points. Makes his way in. Puts the ball on the boot. It's a bit of a helicopter kick. Helicopter goes straight through for a goal. Doesn't matter on the score sheet. It still says 6 points.
They all produce the same outcome, Makey. I reckon Quay Jez had a really good first 6 or 7 minutes in this quarter. His pressure and his work rate's been really good. He also set that goal up. There was 3 ball plays in the full pocket and they could have raffled it. Whoever got it was going to kick the goal.
And on the Carbon Country scoreboard, we've played 6 minutes into the second quarter. Morwell got the lead back now. They lead by 5 points with 4-1-25 to Maui 3-2-20.
Springer at ground level for the Troy Volkswagen.
Yes, mate?
Yes, going well down there.
Yeah, going pretty well, mate. Yeah, there's not much to report, really.
Very good. I want you to ask that question of Ben Morrow. Why he's not playing.
He's a little bit sore, Benny Morrow, but he reckons he'll be right next week.
Very good to hear. Of course, just ask him if he's a bit concerned at Campbell's staff taking his spot because he started well. How's Campbell?
You're a bit concerned Campbell's staff might take his spot, mate.
Nothing, mate. If he goes out and plays well, it'll be good for the team.
Roving reporter. That is fantastic.
Jesus, give me the bird under his breath there.
Great work.
Half-forward flank for the Lions. Dugan puts the ball inside 50. Butler works to the front. Zach Anderson over the back. Doesn't give away a free kick. At ground level, the pressure comes. Great work by Suter. Should get a free kick from too high.
Jacob Wood was flying away.
Jacob Wood was running into an open goal, but Joel Suter wins the free kick and will relieve pressure for the Tigers. Goes inside the corridor. Anderson all by himself. Has to go back over the mark. Got a runner out wide in Hearn. Hearn working off the half-back flank. Wheels around.
Shot the kick, but effective, wasn't it?
True. His target. Hearn chips the ball over the top. They've been very measured with their passes, have the Tigers. This one falls just short in front of Hutchison and will go out for a boundary throwing.
Scuzz, just on Hutch obviously presenting, right up to the wing on that occasion. That's something we haven't really seen a lot of Daniel Hutchison in years gone by.
No, he definitely hasn't. He's more of a, without giving him any credit, he's more of a guy who likes to kick the goals. He is a beautiful finisher and he's got really strong hands. So it is surprising that he's leading up onto the wing. He's had really good work rate today.
Wilson again from that stoppage, kicks out in front of Gia. Nice strong mark. Out wide he's got out there Cantrell, who marks half-forward flank, the forwards lead. Britton's the longest one, goes to McDonald, lands at his toes. Good closing speed. The experience of Tommy Long gathers it, kicks it towards the wing, and that's a beautiful kick to Van Dyke, who marks on his chest. Now the runners, where are they? Inboard. Mutke offers one, has to go back, he chips it to the pocket. There's a nice little kick in the end. Mutke though, had to tap it towards his top of his 50. Just the unlucky bounce for Lee. Quick tap out Kennedy, handballs towards Wilson. And again, Wilson's racking them up, handball to Suter. It's 1-2, don't argue. Handballs to Kennedy, gave it to Hogarth. Hogarth, chip little kick over the top to Jacobson. Tommy Long, got him over the shoulder, he's up to it. Little chip kick, hits at the toes of McDonald. And
James looks a bit battered now, doesn't he?
as you do when you've got one over the shoulder. As Musil gets late to this ruck contest with Campbell's staff. Tigers a bit out of position here at the moment. Staff taps it down and they win the stoppage, Moe. That was poor from the Tigers. Gave it to Massis. Kicks it, poor kick though. Toes of Farrell. Good pick up Farrell. Gave it back to Massis. Van Roy was close to the boundary line. Over it goes. And, the Tigers were late getting to the stoppage, which allowed the Lions to have a clean takeaway there.
Good call. But missed opportunity. Massis just missing a target there in Farrell. Farrell's 6'5", but he puts it at his toes. Siddle works to the front. Over the back is not Van Dyke. It was DiVigilio. Pressure comes to the top of the 50. Handball inside 50. Favours Wood, but great pressure from Duncan. Just keeps his head over the ball. Chip was off to Wilson. Wilson can kick left or right. Does not matter. This time goes over the top. Webber's there for the Lions, gets it inside 50. His great pass over the top just beats Cantrell, and marking that ball is the all-time games record holder here at Moe in Peter Ainsworth. Will line up for goal. Almost directly in front, 35 metres out. Be great to see this man get on the scoreboard today in his record-breaking game. Fantastic effort, 339 games. It's a lot of time in football. Ball on the boot. Umpire favours the right, but it goes inside the goals, and that's a great goal there for the Moe Lions and Peter Ainsworth. Congratulations, mate. It's a fantastic effort.
Well, how that come about was Settle. He just missed his target coming out of the back half there from all. We spoke about it earlier. Who's going to be that second ruckman from all? Well, that is Settle at the minute. He's gone into the ruck, so it's going to be a massive effort for him. This is a chance for Moe to get on top while Musel's off.
Third lead change for the quarter sees Moe 1 point in front of the 11-minute mark of the second quarter, 4-2-26 to Morwell 4-1-25 and the Carpet Country scoreboard.
Well, I would say put Settle down back and throw Hearn in the ruck.
Yeah,
I thought about it.
Yeah, absolutely. As a free kick off the centre square, it's against Giath, is it? So it's going towards Moe. A free kick. Now it's a big moment in the game thanks to Monticello's. Jim Beam and Cola Can Cube, just $70. Can the Moe Lions take advantage? The kick goes towards half-foot. Duncan comes in, takes the mark, cross half-back. You're warming to this idea, aren't you, Springer? As Duncan kicks down the line, Hilliard just initiated the contact. Suter was over there to help. Stanley does well, crashing right through. 1, 2, 3 tackles. Kick was smothered by Rosado. Now Giath has to go again. Turns around, handles to his coach in Suter. Gives it to Jacobson. Over the top to Hilliard. Under pressure. Gets his hands free of the tackle from Greg. But there's strength. The strength of Stanley.
Isn't it?
There's some more strength. Though the up and down handball from Blazer was picked off by Giath. This is frantic football. Little chip kick to Hilliard.
Decent kick, wasn't it?
And that's a nice one. They go in board. Michaelides is there and he marks. Goes in forward again, does he? No. City was all on his own. Goes to the pocket. Does it get over the back and long? No, it doesn't.
How good was Giath from the wing here? He had about 5 efforts.
A fantastic 30 seconds to a minute of play there in this half-forward flank as Long goes dangerously inside the corridor. Contest. Jacobson hits it at pace. Handballs over the top. It sits for Ainsworth. He ducks inside. It's very hard to get around Rosado. Managed to get the handball off to Prestige. He goes inside 50.
Yeah.
Mutke gets first hands on it, but can't bring it down. Look out, Giath. He's got time to get off to Hogarth. Gets the old 1-2. Feeds it off to Michaelides. Back to Hilliard. Can go inside. Siddle. Pressure on the wing. Siddle gathers. Scrappy kick forward. Greg's got to cut this off and goes back down the line. This time Mutke sets himself. Hogarth over the back. Great mark. Was spoiled initially, but it falls in his lap and takes the mark. Off to Michaelides.
What does he have?
Hogarth goes inside 50. Over the back. Great work by Fleming. Brings it to ground. Massees.
Tell you what, boys. This is a final.
Long kick forward, and this time it goes to Moe's half forward. Webber ground, a great tackle by Duncan. Siddle gathers. It's got. We're playing Tennessee football. Johnson relieves pressure on Giath. We can take a breath.
Boy, oh boy, if this is going to be what's dished up next week, it is going to be something special. That's the side. To her, who dropped it, still had plenty of time to basketball it around. Kicks it out wide to Court Van Roy. Van Roy kicks it over the top, getting out there close to the boundary, just in the field of play. Cantrell has it for the Tigers. Scores at the moment. The Tiger Lions lead it by a point. As Cantrell delivers left foot, pocket misses Britton. As Dylan Farrell, if he's not up forward, if he's not in the ruck, he's now spoiling the forward down back. He's had a very good game for the Sale Greyhounds this afternoon as Dylan Farrell. 1 point margin here at Moe. It's Moe 4-2-26. The Tigers are 4-1-25. Ball comes back into play.
Over the back is Van Dyke, feeds it backwards, ends up with Biffin. He can run and carry. Elects to go long to the wing. Setting himself out there is Ainsworth. Leads the play nicely, plays on quickly inside. Goes to the corridor, has Webber, allows it to bounce. He's got time, takes one bounce, runs to the top of the 50, goes just inside 50, puts the ball on the boot, straight through the middle, end-to-end ball movement by the Lions, finishes off with a fantastic goal, 7-point margin.
Well, that started in Ball's forward pocket, or Moe's back pocket. They've worked it all the way down to their forward line and finished it from about 50 to every time Moe can use the footy. they score. That's all they have to concentrate on. Obviously, they've got to get their leads right, but whenever Moe use the footy, they get into their forward 50 and they look very, very dangerous.
And on the Carver Country scoreboard, Moe now have a 7-point lead at the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. They're 5-2-32, leading Morwell 4-1-25.
Well, what a game of football. Great transition football from the Lions. Siddle again, still in the ruck work, up against Farrell. You'd think Farrell wins it, just. Coming off the wing there was Ainsworth. Siddle though, good basketball, tap, handballs over the top, the run of Cantrell. Gave it towards Hillier, goes backwards there to Johnson. Chip little kick in the direction of Cantrell again. Hillier has to put a tackle on Farrell. Farrell's up to it, to Macice. Out wide the handball goes. Didn't have the football, but the Tigers win it back. Suit up, quick handballs to Johnson, missed it. Farrell again, big strong tackle. That was Jaden Van Dyke, sorry. Football now in dispute. They jump on top of Matt and Johnson, the umpire.
From both sides there. Just when one team looked to be getting that clear, the other team will put immense pressure on and just bottle it up. Mutual back on the ground now, taking the ruck against Farrell. Farrell over the back, feeds it back to Stanlake. Stanlake chucks on the boot, gets a hurried barrel forward. Reading the play nicely is Webber, marking in front of Hearn. Goes inside the corridor. That kick is dangerous and will get cut off by Wilson. And look out. Duncan measures his pass. Strong hands in front.
His work rate's up, isn't it?
He's been fantastic this quarter as Gio plays on quickly out wide to Siddle. Siddle has just lost in a bit of transition there as Musil takes the ruck. Siddle goes to the top of the square, over the back. Great work at the front was Jacobson. Great spoil though from the Lions. Good pressure again on Jacob Wood. Ball gets carried over for Cranley's own, or the umpire's got a ball up. Yep. Just inside the boundary line. 25 metres around from goal for the Tigers. 17 minutes gone, 7-point margin in favour of the line.
Paul Cutter, Marks are still favouring the Tigers by a long way.
23-9 this quarter, and it was 32-13 in the first.
Yeah, certainly controlling the play, and anything in there, any 50-50s at the moment, certainly going in the favour of the Tigers with their marking ability.
Yeah, and the grounds for Harvey on the furniture. Gippsland in the semi-final, Yanar 5-3-33 are leading Yallourn North 2-2-14.
Ball back into play here at Moe. Farrell hit it towards defensive 50. Jacobson was there, does well, gave it to Wilson on his left boot, kicks it to the hot spot. No Tigers are back there. Rennett's going to read it, drops the mark though. Hillier grabs it, got tackled immediately. Rennett's made up for the drop mark. It's going to come back though. Out there is Cantrell, twisting, grabs it now. Handball's back towards Johnson. He has to chip it over the top to Giath, who can mark on the boundary line. And Giath is going to kick to the hot spot. Hutchison's going to fly, but Farrell, what a game he's having. Yeah. He's been unbelievable. I'll paint the picture. Farrell's kick was kicked out of bounds on the full, and the wind brought it back in, and Stanlake took the mark right on the line.
Followed the line.
As long kick down the line towards the change rooms here at Moe. Musil holds his ground and marks it in the front spot. And he goes back, Musil. All the numbers are still a defensive 50 for the line, so he comes inboard to Johnson. Johnson just a little chippy kick over the top. McDonald's going to fly, no one. Yeah, Farrell spoiled again. Blazer grabbed it. Handball inboard. The old one too. Comes in the way of Macice. In the middle, Van Dyke had missed the handball. Duncan comes through. Gave it to McDonald. He gives it to Giath. Just fumbles it, does Giath. Coming in to help there is Jaden Van Dyke, who can grab it and kick it out wide. Greg is there. Just goes with the one hand. He was up to it though. Got around Wilson. Kick goes towards the pocket in front of Webber and Hearn. And now it goes over inside the Moe 50 as they currently lead it by 7 points at the 18-minute mark of this second quarter.
Certainly has that finals type feel, doesn't it? The pressure around the footy
everywhere.
If one team turns the ball over, you just know that there's a fair chance that the opposition's going to get inside their own attacking 50 as Webber taps the ball over the back to Blazer. Blazer gets tackled, manages to get a boot to it, goes to the hot spot. Webber follows up his effort, puts the ball on the left, and that's our quarter 20 goal of the day. Luke Webber on the left, running away from goal, followed up his effort from the boundary throw-in, and that is a fantastic finish to get Moe's third for the quarter.
Yeah, that was an absolute cracker, wasn't it, boys? And it's all from the stoppages. I'm not sure how the stoppages are going at the minute, Paul.
6-5 Moe's way this quarter.
They've definitely got some intensity around the contest at the minute, Moe. And as soon as they get it on the outside, they're looking very, very dangerous. But that, once again, that was a brilliant goal.
And on the Carver Country scoreboard, Moe now have a 13-point lead. We're 19 minutes into the second quarter. Moe 6-2-38, leading Morwell 4-1-25.
Well, Webber's got two contenders this afternoon for the 4-20 goal with AU Beauty, 4-20, and that was a little bit better than his running goal, I suspect. Ball back in the middle, Musil got up high, tapped it down. Good work by Blazer, got quickly tackled by Tank Rosado. And he'll feel that one as through the effects, Mike, comes some support from the Lions. A good crowd here for the Lions, as you expect between a Morwell game. Free kick in the middle though, goes to Musil. As Musil, the run from half back from Hearn, kicks it in that direction. He can mark it. He nearly could have kept going with that, but he decided to stop, come back over the mark, kicks towards Michaelides, but Tyson Biffin marks over the top of Michaelides, then played on quickly to Ainsworth, comes in board to Webber, Siddle was there, Hearn is really good at ground level, it just gave the handle up to Dugan. Dugan's kick goes inside 50, back there was Van Roy, so's Hogarth for the Tigers, to Kennedy now, the youngsters he's got tackled from behind, and that's holding the ball, and it looks to be James D. Virgilio, or was it one of the Van Dyke? Scott Van Dyke.
Great pressure,
Strong tackle.
pressure, just not enough communication back there for, was that Van Roy trying to bring the ball outside defensive?
Kennedy.
Yep. Just not enough support there with voice.
Too many steps.
Run down from behind by Scott Van Dyke's got to line up for goal directly in front and put a bigger buffer in this margin. Puts the ball on the boot. Umpire favours the right and goes further right and goes through for a minor score. So a bit of a let off there for the Tigers and a bit of a let off there for young Will Kennedy.
It's just a slight hesitation on the boys. He had an option there. He just hesitated for just a couple of seconds, and that was the difference. He got mowed down from behind.
Hogarth will bring it back into play. Carlton Country scoreboard sees a 14-point margin in favour of the Lions. Football out there was Ainsworth. Tried to crash his way through was Rosado. Ainsworth put a tackle back on. And we've got another stoppage inside the attacking 50 for the Lions with the old set play. Up they go. Farrell it was. No, it wasn't. It was Staff down there. Got a handball out wide, Van Dyke to Stanlake. He never falls to ground, does Stanlake. Rosado got a boot to ball, not 15. Play on, said the umpire. Long was under a bit of pressure. Gave up the football. Michaelides was there. So it was the Tigers' Dan Musil. And it is red hot.
Haven't seen much of Rosado, Paul. If you can get Rosado's stats, I think he's doing a straight run with tag on James Blazer.
4 in the first quarter, 2 in this quarter, matey.
From the stoppage, Ainsworth gave it up to Staff, who squeezed a handball out there to Di Virgilio. Now it's out in the hands of Butler. Swings around, right foot kick to the hot spot. Mutki's going to fly. Didn't quite mark it, brought it to ground. Dugan was front and square, swooped on a right foot and kicks it away across the face. And it goes out of bounds on the full, but the Lions are looking dangerous now.
Yeah, they are, and it's Mookie. He just creates a contest, doesn't he? That's all he did there. He just created a contest, and it came to ground, and it allowed the mid to smalls to have a chance to have a snap at goal.
Carlton Country scoreboard, find them at Trowbridge Superstore, Lakes Entrance Sale in Hayfield.
Murray leading by 15 points, and only 23 minutes of the second quarter, 6-4-40, 4-1-25 small score.
I guess that question about what sort of sides would turn up today was certainly put to bed quite early. This is a red-hot game of football.
Free kick on the outer side as Hogarth brings the ball back into play, goes in the way of Hearn, worked his way to the front of the pack, gets pushed in the back. Half-back flank for the Tigers. 23.5 minutes gone in this second term. And Hearn's going to go, I would assume, long down the line just to relieve a bit of pressure. Oh, he checks his kick at the last minute, does really well. Finds Britton, handballs off to Rosado, ducks inside one opponent, gets pressured as he kicks, goes long down the line. Fleming works to the front really well, can't quite find the hand on, leaves it behind, and it dribbles out for a boundary throw-in.
Score check from the AFL, and all thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture. The Pies lead the Demons by 28 points at the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, and North lead by 4 points over the Lions.
So the hit from the stoppage goes forward in the direction of the Tigers and goes out for a boundary throw-in, half-forward flank. So the Lions jump the Kangaroos as well, so it's good to have the boys get back in the game. Back here at Ted Summerton, Staff and Musil. Musil gets the ball down at ground level with Jacobson to Rosado, handball over the top to Suda, to Michaelides, 1-2 with Britton, and 2 didn't quite come off because it just fell at Britton's feet.
Geez, it would have been good to see Nicolaides get the footy there, wouldn't it? 40 metres out on the boundary, he would have
Into the breeze, another boundary throw-in. Staff wins this at ground level with Britton, snaps the ball over his shoulder to the top of the hot spot, bringing it back there for the Lions. Biffin plays on quickly to Greg, allows it to bounce. He's got great time. Goes out to his half-back flank. That's a great kick. Finds Hayden Prestige marking out in front. Looking inside the corridor. Got an option down the wing. One-on-one contest. Jane Van Dyke starts from the back. Works to the ground level. Jacob Wood, the tunnel rat. Works his kick forward, looking for Farrell. Farrell reads a play over the back, gets it off hands, handballs in front to Scott Van Dyke. Wetherell cuts the ball off to Duncan. Handball back to Musil. Pressure comes again. They've handled this really well. He goes back inside. Pressure comes. Feeds it off to Musil. Chips the ball out wide to Wetherell. Wetherell will go to Van Roy down the line.
Marks in front of the Canbar here at Moe on his half-back flank. Comes in board. Beautiful kick to Cantrell. Cantrell has it on his half-back flank for the Tigers.
Good one out here.
Decides to go back inside his defensive 50 in the Wilson direction. They could be on if they can get it over the top. Duncan is one of them. Goes out there now. He can mark and turn and play on. Britton calls him to run. Now we look for the handball, Britton. He receives it now. He takes on the tackler in Staff, and as you would with the speedster that Britton is, kicks it out the front of Anderson and Hillier and Johnson. Misses all of them and goes over for another boundary throwing.
I think Morwell's just lost a bit of structure this quarter. They're not running the ball like they were in the first quarter, were they? They don't seem to be the quick handballs and then the run and carry like they did have early.
Yeah, you're right. And again, it's that very sort of kicking in that direction that Moe had that problem early. But this time they go inside 50 through Suter. Jacobson's going to fly. Johnson's going to crumb. Quick kick. Great work by Stanlake to chip it up to himself. Has one bounce. Loses the football. Slips over. Johnson now gathers it. Top of his 50.
That's a good kick.
Kicks it around the body and had found up Zach Cantrell. And he's too far out to score. He's going to wait for an option to present. Johnson holds his ground, but he goes the other direction, and that's a poor kick. Long couldn't mark it. Musil has second effort, was good. Suter tries to get around Long, can't do so. Macice swoops on it now to Ainsworth, gives it back to Macice. Kicks it out wide towards Van Dyke, and Duncan's having a good game for the Tigers as well. Was happy to see that go over for a boundary throw in the Michael Duncan. Dare I say it?
12th time.
I won't say it. TT would love to have him. Boundary throw in. 27 minutes gone in this second quarter. 15-point margin. Good game of footy in favour of the Lions. Suter gave it to Michaelides over the top to Anderson. Kick goes inside 50. The targets go backwards though. And it's the Lions. Tyson Biffin does that ever so well.
They've just done it really well across their half-back flank, being able to read the flight of the ball. And just had quite a few innocent marks as Biffin goes long down the line, setting himself back.
Good
Ainsworth flies and takes a one-hander. The youngster goes on quickly inside the corridor. Nathan Lee's by himself. He drops an absolute sitter. Hillier cleans up the crumbs. Handballs over the top to Michaelides. Right in the middle of the ground. This will hit a target. That is a beautiful... Siren goes. Siren goes. 28 minutes gone. Just a little going inside Morwell's forward 50. But a great corner there for the Lions. 3 goals to 1. And have a victory box as well. Just wanted to see if I was fitting, and when I said I'm going to the footy and I do the radio.
Didn't realise you played cricket, Troy, but your batting average very high. As back this third quarter is underway. Quick tap out by Musil, but Moe win it off the half back. They kick it towards their forward line in the direction of Butler. But back there is Anderson for the Tigers. They're working hard is Anderson. He had 2 to beat. He had to tackle Austin Burnover for boundary throwing. I think that's what the Tigers wanted. It'll be a big third quarter here for the Tigers, and it's all thanks to Monticello's. Summersby side of 10 packs, only $19 as this football comes back into play. Musil tapped it over the back. All the numbers there for the Tigers over the back. Wilson was one, gave it to her. His kick goes towards the wing. Prestige and Britton, good work by Long. But don't argue from Long, and then delivers inside 50. Woodkey I thought was the one going to go for that one. It didn't matter. It was a free kick over the top to Scott Van Dyke. And how good.
A bit harsh on... Duncan on Frankie Duncan there because he didn't seem to have hands in the back. He just put the fist up there. He actually got a good fist on it.
How good though was Tommy's last. Don't argue on Hayden Britton.
That's the only disappointment. I didn't see him try and kick a barrel from about 7 metres.
Exactly right. We know Tommy Long can unload with the longer barrel as Scott Van Dyke looks to extend the margin from half time from 15 points for the Lions inside the first 2 minutes of play. Van Dyke comes in, kicking towards the city end. He doesn't lug it off the boot. It doesn't come back enough. And it's a minor score on the McDonald's scoreboard this afternoon.
That takes Moe to a 16-point lead on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard. They're 6-5-41, Morwell 4-1-25. We're still inside the 2-minute mark of the third quarter.
Big game in the netball. The Tigers lead 53 to Moe's 38 at the moment. Both sides, I think, will feature in the finals campaign as well for the netball girls.
Hogarth brings the ball back in. Farrell gets hands on it but can't bring it down. Ends up out wide with Jacobson out on a wing. Goes inside the corridor, finds his target there in McDonald. Held up on the mark, has to go back. So allows time for the Lions defenders to reset. Goes shallow inside 50, falls short. Hutchinson reads it nicely and takes a mark out in front. Just top of the 50, right on his range, probably just beyond his range, given the wind. So he goes wide, inside 50. Reading it nicely back there was Fleming. Gets a nice fist on it. Jacob Wood at ground level, leads all comers, scoops the ball up nicely on the half-back frame, goes on down the line. Dugan, great spot over the back by Weatherall. Ends up in the hands of Musel, handballs over the top to Britton, pressure comes from Wood, can't quite shake that tackle, manages to get a handball over to Musel, great work out in tight positions by the Tigers. They might come unstuck though. Jacob Wood down behind play, we'll keep an eye on that one, ends up with Johnson in the corridor, goes to Wilson to Suter. Suter goes long, inside 50, and reading the play nicely is Charlie Reynolds.
Dugan's also down on centre wing. Brad Thomas, good work. You've just spotted something for us. True centre wing, Brad.
I was just going to say there's heaps of boys.
Yeah, very good. Heaps of boys. That's great. They're playing football. It's Dugan and Kennedy are the two boys. There are heaps of them. Dugan's got an ankle issue, and Kennedy looks to have...
pretty ginger, doesn't he?
He does. The football's on the far wing. It goes over. So Dugan comes off, and Kennedy runs on and stays onto the ground. So keep an eye on that one for us. Ash Dugan coming back from a bit of an injury too, was he, over the last couple, so they won't take any risks there, knowing some scores that are happening over there in Tarouga, Troy.
Yes, Scott Van Dyke at ground level, handballs back to Blazer. Blazer on the left boot, chisels a pass inside. Two hot fries.
Oh, good tackle.
Picked up by... Oh, who was that?
Prestige.
Prestige goes forward and... Really great work on the last line of defence through Jack
Kennedy. Will Kennedy, 2 in a row. He just got up and ran to the back line and just got cleaned up again by Wilkie.
He is a tough fellow, he is Will Kennedy. And now he wants the footy out this side. As Anderson kicks it in long out towards Musel, but Budke read it too well for the big ruckman as Budke delivers inside 50 again. Up they go. Byrne was one of them. Wood was in the front spot. Good work by Duncan at ground level. Now Michaelides squeezed a handball out to Siddle. Siddle's kick out wide. Didn't quite find Britton, but he'll sit up for it. Doesn't. Only just. Prestige closes. Britton turns around. Gets onto the right foot. Delivers nicely out in front of McDonald. Sits up for him. Long closes. That's just got his foot to ball. Long closing speed's fantastic. Hutchison comes the other way. Picks it up in front of Staff. Causes a boundary throw in, and Hutchison 3-on-1 had to really make a contest of that one.
Hey boys, Dukes is just getting his ankle strapped again. He'll be back on shortly.
Good work. Boundary throwing in front of the can bar here at Moe as the Lions lead it by 17 points. Just repeating, these two sides will likely play each other again next week in a cutthroat elimination final.
Holding off the ball.
Goes to Hillier.
Pointed both ways.
And Hillier has the free kick. Kicks it in towards McDonald, goes up, didn't put his hands up in the end. Should have, because he could have marked it. Staff gathers, gave it to Blazer. Right foot kick in front of Farrell. It's going to bounce on the 50. Puts one hand down, now he gets two. Picks it up, handballs back towards Wood. Just misses that one, does Wood, but he's small enough to pick it up. Hillier closes, Wood goes again. And Wood, the professional free kick, didn't take control of the football. And that should be 50.
Oh, there it is.
As Hillier ran over the mark, he's complaining it should have been play on, but sorry, young boy. And that's 50 as Jacob Woods will come in. You can argue all the like, the umpire won't change it.
You know what he's getting at, but until the umpire calls play on.
Yeah, that one in the AFL last week, wasn't it, that cost the game for the Bulldogs? The play on, the Sydney one, I think it was. Zach Jones, it might have been. But Jacob Wood, anyway, will look to extend this margin for the Lions as they lead by 17 points.
Any bet it was.
The Tunnel Rat it was. The Tunnel Rat Club member, the captain, the inaugural Tunnel Rat, comes in and puts it straight through the middle. It's great to have Jacob Wood back, and that's his first goal this afternoon for the Lions.
Yeah, well, Ball are going to have to make sure they figure out what they're going to do here because it's starting to creep away. It's out to over 3 goals. But what we mentioned, boys, if you go across the line, it's going to be a 50-metre penalty every single time.
And on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard, we're at the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. Moe lead by 23 points. They're 7-6-48 to Morwell 4-1-25.
So the ball's back in the middle again. This time Musel's back in there with Farrell. Ball goes up. Farrell got it down towards Wood. Not going direct. Great work by Blazer to pick it up and spin around. Handball across to Butler. Allows Butler to kick it inside 50. Woodkey's on a strong lead. Doesn't get it on the full. Hearn goes back to help his Tiger counterpart, but the boundary beats them both again. And over it goes.
Morwell's last score was the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. We're now 7 minutes into the third.
Bit of a dry spell for the Tigers. Jacob Wood comes off, placed by Virgilio. Ball inside Moe's forward 50, handball out from the stoppage, ends up with Wilson for the Tigers. Tackle over the top, should have been a free kick to Wilson, but doesn't go his way, and the umpire will call for a ball up. Half forward flank here, Moe's half forward flank, 7.5 minutes gone. Webber, a bit late on the contest, so Musel has a free swing at it, and the umpire, what's he going to do here? Call for another ball up. This time Webber,
that's on the full.
Musel.
That goes over at the full.
Yes, that is correct. I think they've just confirmed that too, yep.
Yeah.
Spot on. Scars, call it through.
I'm on to that. Yeah, well, Musil went up, and anything out of the ruck contest that goes over the line on the full's out on the full.
Kick inside forward 50. No one can mark for the Lions. Back there is Anderson. Tries to get a handball backwards to Wetherill, does so. He can run forward a little bit, gave it to Suter, who gave it to Hogarth, back to Suter. By hand now, Suter's kick goes towards the direction of Callaway. Working hard there was Britton, hit the ground, Springer. As we now have another ball up in the middle, Tom Fleming working hard. As the two ruckmen again, Musel, Farrell knocks it backwards, Virgilio was there. Michaelides picked it off. Got to squeeze it out towards Wilson, over to Kennedy, to Hillier, tried to don't argue, had to get rid of it quickly. Tommy Long doesn't fall for those ones, now the Lions are away. Just couldn't quite get it out there, was Burns, so Johnson swooped on it, right foot kicks nice and neat to Tommy Wilson, who's having some sort of game for the Sale Greyhounds today, and beautiful kick towards McDonald, who got shoved in the back afterwards. Fleming's playing right on that line, isn't he, at the moment? McDonald's kick goes high up in the air, and that's a shocking kick if you ask me. Play on, said the umpire though, put Farrell under pressure. Jacobson, but the Lions are up to it. Darnell Grant grabs it, pushes 65 metres and hits Scott Van Dyke on the wing. What a kick, Troy.
Fantastic kick just to relieve pressure from the defensive 50. Van Dyke goes over the top, finds Webber on the outer wing, hard up on the boundary line, trying to direct play. Goes with a sort of 75% kick, but it was 100% out of bounds on the full.
That McDonald kick a couple of moments ago, Scott. What's the go there? Kicks it high 20 metres
to the biggest bloke in the league.
4 of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing that to complement that, Scott, I reckon Moe defensively working really, really hard. They had probably 10 or 12 players back in that defensive 50, so Morwell had no easy entry.
Turnover.
Ends up with Blazer. Blazer goes into the corridor looking for Lee. Over the back is Stanley. Gathers at the second attempt at ground level. Shrugs underneath the tackle. Hurry kick forward is smothered, and Hogarth is back there for the Tigers. He can relieve pressure to his back flank. Finds a target in between a sea of Moe players. Ends up with Johnson. Nice left foot pass over the top to McDonald. McDonald plays on quickly down the line. That's a push out against Michaelides and goes to Darnell Gregg. And the umpire directing it one way and then giving it the other way, and then going back again.
Now he's worked it out. It's okay. We just don't know which way's left or right. That's all it is. Tommy Wilson again getting handballs to allow his teammates to run and attack is very good to watch.
Fantastic. Really setting up play as Webber goes a second attempt.
Here it is again.
Cut off by Wilson. Could find his target inside in Britton. Bounces. Gets the old 1-2 to Wilson. Wilson goes out wide, ready to play nice in Biffin, cuts it off, handballs over the top, has Stanley. Stanley stops and props, measures inside 50 and finds Jaden Van Dyke 45 metres out, might be right on his range. Ash Durgan's come on the ground, just snuck on into the pocket here, he sees it over the top.
Oh, look at the Van Dyke boys.
Done this plenty of times in the backyard as Jaden to Scott, and he'll line up a closer range, 35 metres out, slide angle. Angle shouldn't be a problem.
Tricky shot though, Troy. Where's he aiming?
Got to go left.
Goal post.
Left points.
Left
in the middle of the points.
And Starts at left and stays on the left for another minor score. The McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Really explain that.
Paul Carter.
There's a 24-point lead to Murray at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter. 7-7-49 to Morwell 4-1-25, and that's on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
One more goal for the Lions just about puts that thought in the heads of the Tigers that,
Put the queue in the rack?
yeah, we've got a game next week against these boys, and I'm not saying that they're looking that way just at the moment, but certainly the Lions have been all over the top of them as Farrell marks from the kick out, now drives it back inside 50. Hearn got up high. The tall defender for the Tigers marks. And we'll look for an outlet kick.
It might be a subconscious thing, like you go out there and you play 100%, but it might be subconscious. Oh, we've got next week, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And you just sort of mentally switch off a little bit.
Some of those 50-50 contests, they're going to win it again. The Lions through here. Good work by Blazer. Hillier put a tackle on and caused the stoppage.
Do you think that they'll be getting the Traralgon scores down at the bench?
Yeah, I think so.
If I was a coach down on the bench, I would be. I'd get them, and then you'll know whether you're a chance to make that time 3 or
I was asked by both camps at half time, so it was
There you
good,
go.
perfect timing that you delivered it, Daz.
There you go. That's great work. Very good work down there, Brad. As the Tigers chip kick over the top doesn't come off again. Massis was there. Tried to put a bit of pressure on. He's won himself a free kick, has Jai Massis for the Lions. On the half-back flank it is. 12 and a half, make it 13 minutes gone now. And a 24-point margin as Massis kicks inboard. Nice little kick to Van Dyke. Van Dyke on the wing transfers the football towards half forward. Musil goes back with a flight. Couldn't quite mark it. His buckets are off a little bit today. Weber picks it up, gets the left foot, delivery inside 50. Over the top of the Tigers defenders. Dugan's there, just fumbled at the crucial time. Allowed Wetherall to come in and put a tackle on and cause the incorrect disposal. As Wetherall kicks it out wide. Is that Wilson out there again? It is. Marks. Handballs to Hillier, who can handball back to Wilson. Wilson goes back onto the right foot, comes inboard, dangerous kick. It's the first target he's missed all day. The Lions swoop on it. Just nicely done there by Weber. Kicks it high towards Stanlake. 1-on-1 with Van Roy. Goes back. Second effort was good by Stanlake. Tigers there, working hard now was Byrne. Di Virgilio tries to help as well for the Lions. And we're not going anywhere, says the umpire.
So Wilson, watch. Paul, how's he?
Wilson this quarter is another 5 kicks, 3 handballs, that's 30 disposals.
He's trying to get another one now.
boundary line.
Is he on pace? What's that, 46, is it?
World record.
Yeah.
46.
46 is our record.
As well, we are on a bit of a watch there, so it'll be interesting to.
Who was that, Paul? Got the 46.
Cat Russell now.
Yep, Funky Duncan from the stoppage for the Tigers. Left foot off. Farrell is having a great game as well for the Sale Greyhounds this afternoon. Don't forget Father's Day in the Greys Bistro is the spot to be as Farrell kicks it over the top long. Another don't argue. Then gets a handball out. There's a free kick going to, is it Massis or back to Long? It's going to Massis. It was over the shoulder. So Massis is kicked towards centre half forward. The lead comes. Strong mark by Byrne. Austin Byrne. Too far out to score. Di Virgilio presents, goes in that direction, but damn, Musil's there. You'd think he'll win out. Good spoil. Dugan crashes through, grabs it, just throws it out towards Van Dyke. Quick handball to Wood to Di Virgilio. Rosato's there for the Tigers. Just gets his kick away. It's not going to come off though. Lee marked. He got called to play on. And then got boot to ball, but then got called for holding the ball. Not sure on that one, boys.
Someone mentioned quick on the whistle.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to get opportunity. Yeah, it's tough.
It was. I think you're right, Scuzz. He went to blow the whistle to hold the ball, and all of a sudden the boot actually kicked it. In the end, though, holding the ball. Kennedy, nice little kick to Dan Musil. They hold on to it, the Tigers. They trail, though, by 24 points. Big moment in the game for Monticello. Jim Beam and Cola Cubes for just $70. Musil kick goes down the line. Hearn in the front spot. Wilson again, handballs out towards Britt, but he got one high, Wilson. He's been levelled. Now the football's in dispute. Van Dyke gave it to Lee, to Van Dyke, over the top, looking for Prestige. Di Virgilio was there, picks it up, squeezes a handball out to Van Dyke. That's Jaden, of course. Over the shoulder was Blazer. Yes, it is. As a free kick goes to James Blazer. Wilson still down on his haunches. Seems to be okay though, boys.
He'll make this, I reckon, wouldn't he?
He's about 60 metres out. He kicks it high. The breeze comes. It's just going to hold it up. Big line. Jacob Wood on the goal line. Weatherall rushing it through. Minor score on the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard.
Takes Murray to 7-8-50, leading by 25 points over Morwell, 4-1-25.
So it's been all Moe in this third term, albeit only one goal scored. 25-point margin. Johnson goes back to across goal to Weatherall. Weatherall comes out wide, finds Will Kennedy, fumbles. Got enough time to get a handball. Pressure comes from Scott Van Dyke. Puts his head on the ball. Weaves out of trouble. Handballs back to Blazer. Underground hand pass to Jaden Van Dyke. He's under pressure. Tommy Wilson racks up another one. Lovely chiselling pass over the top. Finds Britton. Britton goes forward. Jacobson back there. Reads the play nicely. Runs in. 35 metres out. Runs to 20. Puts the ball on the boot and he's muffed it. He's 3-on-1.
It's always been delayed, he didn't handball it to him.
They had 3-on-1 it was as they were running into an open goal.
There was the ball drop, boys. I reckon it spat 3 times before it hit his boot.
Gifford plays onto himself, kicks it out wide. Farrell had to sit over Britton and mark strongly as a half-back flank. Well, Farrell kicks it, nice little kick. Di Virgilio out there, marks it, goes back, chips over the top. Now it's the Lions' turn to have possession football as Webber marks.
Exactly what Moore were doing in the first quarter, wasn't it?
And that's when the scores were 3 straight.
And the mark tally this quarter is 17-10 Murray's way.
Oh well, there it is. That tells the story of this game so far. Kick down the wing, down towards half forward for the Moe Lions. Duncan was there, free kick off the ball to Duncan. He had a good game this afternoon. He'll be lost for the Tigers next year as he goes. As Duncan handballs back to his coach and Suter. Suter's little chip kick over the top. Doesn't quite find the target. Webber was back there. Webber just handballs over the shoulder. Everything's coming off now. Farrell gave it to the right from Long. Took on 1 or 2. That should be on the ball. No, said the umpire. Quick kick goes forward again by Fleming in the direction of Van Dyke. That was Scott.
Yep.
Couldn't quite mark it. And the umpire says no opportunity, will ball it up inside forward 50.
Inside 50 count this quarter is 14-5 Murray's way.
Farrell got high again. Out there is Stanley close to the boundary line, right foot kick. That's going out of bounds on the full, you'd think. And it does, no score. 18, 19 minutes gone, margin 24 points. We've got a bit of a stalemate, I reckon.
Yeah, for all their dominance, it is only 24-point margin. Only 1 goal scored in this quarter. It was Jacob Wood at the 6-minute mark. We're now just ticked over 19 minutes, so it's been, like I said, been a bit of a flat quarter from both sides. As Webber turns the ball over, gets a scrappy kick inside 50. Going to be repelled by Zach Anderson, goes out wide to Manor Johnson, marks on a half-back flank, looks to link up over the top, and umpires back, maybe to go back behind the mark. I don't know,
okay.
Maybe just call play on instead. He does get the handball over the top to Jacobs nonetheless. He goes on the left this time and not the right. This time he hits his target.
Ball drop was good.
Hutchison. Hutchison, a half-forward flank. Goes with a measure pass inside 50. Reed plays nicely back there.
Geez, that back pass been good.
Been very good in this third quarter. And that's Tom Fleming taking a defensive mark there for the Lions. And will relieve a bit of pressure. He's looking inside the corner. It's called the play on. And goes back to Biffin. Biffin back to Fleming. Pressure from Hillier is good. Forces a kick down the line. Working underneath the ball there. It's all Tigers out there. Johnson's going to clean up the scraps. Left footer over the top to Hutchison. Misses his target. Goes out for a boundary throw in half-forward flank for the Tigers.
Well, big moments thanks to Monticello's. Summersby cider 10 packs are only $19. And the big moment is that we've had 1 goal kicked in this quarter. That was way back at the 6-minute mark. And it was a good goal by Jacob Wood, but since then, it's been a pretty ordinary display of football. It's just been going between the arcs, no real pressure, few behinds kicked. I've had a number. Paul, how many behinds we had?
1 goal 4 this quarter.
Well, maybe they've answered our question that both teams look likely to settle for getting ready for next week.
Certainly the intensity has dropped off as well. You can expect that. As we've just ticked over 21 minutes. Ball on the far side. Rosado there gave it to Manor Johnson. Giath tried to get it towards Wilson direction. He has to go again, does Giath. Picks it up, quick tackle by Butler.
Throw.
And it was called a throw. Good work, Scars, as Butler has the free kick on the wing. So stroll back. Woodkey's there, one-on-one with Hogarth. Up they go. Woodkey and can't mark. Front square was Ainsworth. Grabbed it, put it on its boot. All Tigers are back there. They'll keep it in play. As Weatherall can gather. Stop. He's got all the top.
Too much edge.
Got it high in the air. Has allowed Jaden Van Dyke to come in and spoil
here in the ball as Melbourne kick another goal, boys. 13 points of difference.
Well, it's a big game for the Dirties. They want to play finals football. They have to win.
That's it.
Ball comes back into play here. Musil double hands it straight down. Blazer was in the front spot there with Butler. And Butler in the end trying to get a kick away, but was unable to do so.
His knees.
Wasn't it? 22 minutes gone. Third quarter. TRFM is Gippsland live on a Saturday afternoon. Blazer crashed his way through and was got caught. Hold the ball. Wilson, the advantage was played. Handballs to Johnson. Siddle Shepherd allows Johnson to kick the centre half forward. It lands in space. No one's there. Basis runs back. Good pace. Coming in was Hillier. Tried to scoop it up one hand. Didn't really take the possession there. He's won himself the free kick. No one's back for the Tigers. Britain's just caught one in the snoz, you'd think.
How's Moe getting back though, boys? There's just numbers everywhere.
He's great. And Hillier's kicked it. Tunnelled and landed right at his coccyx as Giath will now chip it sideways towards Michaelides. Wood goes back with a flight, gave away a free kick. Either way, take your pick. Mark, free kick. Michaelides in front.
You back in there, boys?
Now, I think it's a tough kick. The breeze, let us know the breeze down there. Springer, Solitary Volkswagen.
Still blowing towards the South Street Primary School, mate. But if anyone could, this will be the bloke.
Well, 45 metres will be the distance he'll have to kick it from. In front of the can bar, who give him carry. Starts it right, the breeze brings it back. If anyone can, Rob Michaelides can.
I rode it home like weeks last week, mate. Scars, I'm surprised you said he'd miss.
He's just all quality in the boys, and I'm looking forward to next week when these two teams play and Rob Micklewade is playing in the finals. I think he'll just step up to another level. He's just all class in the boys, and that's a beautiful finish.
Rolls Royce.
And on the McDonald's Gippsland score, the margin is just 18 points in Murray's favour at the 23-minute mark of the third quarter. All and now 5-2-32, trailing the Lions at 7-8-50.
Well, finally, they've got another goal on the board, and they go forward again, the Tigers. Michaelides, this time through the middle, kicks it towards McDonald, can't mark. Going back there, great work by Long. Quick kick on the boot though, it's going to come back in. Britton takes on the tackler in Fleming, has a shot from 45, starts it to the left, it's going away that way as Biffin marks, and we know Biffin can take off from his defensive 50.
Two bounces from Biffin, runs to defensive 50, handballs over the top to his partner in crime in Stanley, a bit too hot for him, has to go and fetch it, does well, handballs inside to Butler, Butler handballs to Staff coming for the Shepherd, and Moe turn the ball over. Rosado volleyballs it back to Siddle. Pressure from Butler again. Staff gets his hands on it. Stanley shakes off a tackle. He's done that well all day. Gets it inside 50. Mutke on a lead. Strong marks out in front of Riley Hogarth. 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. He'll back himself, the big fellas. A tough ass though from the opposite pocket to what Rob Michaelides was kicked out.
He loves running back with his back to the play though, doesn't he?
Plays onside to Stanley. Stanley gets to the 50, kicks it long and high, hasn't got the legs. Great work by Ryan Hearn on the last line, knocks it through as Dylan Farrell put the jukes up but couldn't quite get his hands on it.
AFL boys, 8 points of difference.
Here come the Demons. Have we got another score for Troy Makepeace for the North Melbourne boys, or are you just purely focused on the Melbourne game?
Sorry mate, it's long feet.
As Wilson kicks it towards Van Roy in the defensive 50. Van Roy kicks the direction of Britton and Siddle. Yeah, good support by Britton. Siddle takes a mark. That's Daniel. Of course,
Ben Brown's kicked 5 goals for the Roos.
Good work by Brown. Siddle kicks down the line. Front spot was Hutchison. Little tap on there by Cantrell. Going back was Tommy Long, won it. Handballs over the top to Byrne. Quick kick. Good mark by Grant. Mark balls in the direction of Staff. He can go backwards to Blazer. Just missed him though. Sits up nicely for Blazer. Delivery. Beautiful kick. James Blazer kicks it towards Mutke and he marked on his chest. It only went 15.4 metres, but doesn't matter.
Since the middle of the second quarter, Murray kicked 1 goal 7. They were 6-2 at one stage. They are now 7-9, so they need to straighten over a little bit.
Well, they do. It's a big kick for Carl Mutke and Monticellos. The Jim Beam and Colacan Cube, $70 as Mutke from 48 unloads a wobbly kick, and that's going out of bounds on the full. And it just squeezes in for a minor score. So the margin now, the McDonald's Gippsland scoreboard
is 20 points. Murray 7-10-52, Morwell 5-2-32.
Nathan Scurry, you got a score for us? Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland around the ground?
No, it was around the ground, 6 points.
Mason Cox has had a shot at goal. He just handballed through the goals and got a push after it. He handballed through the goals.
Yeah.
And they've called it as a push and they put him in front for some reason.
The American not quite understanding the rules.
He's going alright
just yet.
I think he's kicked a few.
Back here at Ted Summerton as right under three-quarter time siren. Only 2 goals scored in that quarter. A number of behinds have been kicked. But Jacob Wood got one, and then Rob Michaelides got one for the Tigers. So 15-point margin at half-time. The margin now is score for Mid-Gippsland. Yallournula North lead by 2 points over Yanar. So we come back there. From this stoppage, though, it was Stanlake in the middle, won it, kicked it towards half-forward. Van Dyke couldn't mark. Now his brother Scott comes in to help. However, they put on some pressure, the Tigers. We're going to ball up inside forward 50.
That was with Yanar leading all day as well, so the first time that Yallournula North's been in front.
Yep, they've kicked 4 in a row, and I think Dean McDonald has kicked those 4. As a free kick from this stoppage was over the shoulder to James Di Virgilio, and he'll go back directly in front. The margin is 20 points here, and as we said, these two sides will play each other next week in an elimination final, so there's a little bit up for grabs in this final quarter, a little bit of momentum you would think going into it.
Do we know where that is yet, Scott?
No, we'll find out later on tonight, Springer, as Di Virgilio comes in, right foot shot on goal, going, it's a beautiful kick of the football, it is straight through the middle, James Di Virgilio.
Yeah, it was a brilliant kick. It was probably just outside 50 and a lot of penetration that got that ball through the goals there. I'm loving the way Moe are playing at the minute. They're defensively really good and they've got their guns in their midfield and their forward line. I think they've got a really good side going into next week.
26-point lead to Murray, 1 minute mark of the final quarter on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. Murray 8-10-58, leading Morwell 5-2-32.
I know what Scuzz is trying to do. We know he's a gym.
Well, they go forward again. I don't think it's going to work because Jacob Wood streamed down in the middle. Good punch by Hearn. It's still inside forward 50 though. That was a quick kick by Dugan. Goes high up and down the air again. Ryan Hearn with a big spoil. Michaelides at ground level clean. Gave it to Anderson, who just gave it up to Jacob Wood, and he kept the football in play, did he? It was great work by Jacob Wood. Just the relentless work rate by this tunnel rat member is phenomenal. And he's an important cog into this side. He kicks close to the boundary. Hang on, the umpire said, no, you've got to go back behind your mark. And that is the worst rule in football, I think. Anyway, we have a little bit of a lull, a bit of show time, but Jacob Wood's very important for this Lions side. He has to go to exactly the same spot where he kicked it from before. The umpire says, that's all fine. Jacob Woods goes high kick. Underneath it was Musil. So was Farrell down there. Into the pocket, Dugan got a boot on it. Hogarth, though, was able to rush it through for a minor score. Just to answer your question before, Brad Thomas, before we go to this score, in terms of the game, I reckon that with Mafra losing this afternoon, if that is going to be the case over Leongatha, I think Mafra would play Terrell at Sale, and I would think that Morwell and Murray will play Warrigal. But from this stoppage, it is Peter Ainsworth putting another one through. And on a day where he's breaking all records here, he has extended the margins for the Lions.
Yeah, he has, and once again, there was some brilliant pressure acts there from Moe in their forward 50 there. Their pressure's been brilliant today. It's a great final-like atmosphere out here. There's been so much pressure here all day, and once again, that was just a turnover from pressure from Moe.
And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, Murray lead by 33 points at the 3 minute mark of the final quarter. They are 9-11-65 to Morwell 5-2-32.
Well, ball back in the middle. It'll be an interesting one next week. It is being played down at Warrigal.
It'll be these two sides again. Rizzardo can't get a handle on it. Suda can. Links up with Michaelides. Musil trying to run onto it. Macice meets him head on. Creates a turnover. Handball forward. Ends up with Wood. Gathers off his bootlaces. Ducks inside. Look out. Michaelides chasing it. Gets a boot to it. Great kick inside 50. Farrell can't quite gather. Handballs out to Van Dyke. Gets pressure on from the front. No free kick. Jacob Wood was almost lying down on the ground when he kicked that. He chiseled at 40 metres.
How's his centre of gravity? It's that low.
Farrell and Musil. Farrell knocks it forward. Running onto it is Ainsworth for his third goal. Outside of the boot. Peter Ainsworth, 3 goals for the day in a game where he's breaking the all-time
Games record here at Moe. Fantastic finish. Well, when I was young, boys, I got told, don't count your games, make your games count. And I reckon that Ainsworth's exactly that. His quality, what number again, sorry?
339.
Yeah, and look what he's doing after 20 years of footy. It's unbelievable.
And on the Harvey Normal Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, the margin now 39 points in Moe's favour, 4-minute mark of the final quarter, 10-11-71 to Morwell 5-2-32.
So just taking him off too. Skulls fights again.
Oh, jeez.
Good work off half back by Darnell Gregg, who won it, kicked it towards centre half forward. Working back there was T. Virgilio, gives a handball out towards Lee. Johnson comes in to help for the Tigers, kick off the ground. Goes to Rosado, just sits up for him, who he handballs over the top to Jacobson. Jacobson kicks towards half forward. Giac goes up, got a little bit of tunnelling. Clowns in the umpire. Rennett's won it, handballed to Lee. Gave it to Biffin, who runs. Now delivers out wide to Blazer. Blazer's left foot kick out towards the pocket of Farrell. Going back with courage was Hogarth. Couldn't quite mark. Biffin's ran on from the half back line. Put a bit of pressure on, so did Scott Van Dyke. Biffin's looking to join the party and get in on the goals as well.
Just going back to where they took Peter Ainsworth, I think Simi was copping a bit of flack from the guys in the camper. They leave him on, he just kicked them off 2 goals.
Definitely got rowdy.
Big tap out by Farrell in the direction of Stanley. Taps it in his direction. Picked up by Van Dyke. Hits the post. Minor score. That was a jaded Van Dyke for the minor score.
Moe 10-12-72, now lead by 40 points. We've played 6 minutes into the final quarter. That's on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard.
Tigers get it in the middle where Duncan Calloway's brother Jack Marks kicks inboard towards McDonald. McDonald marks, swings around. He's got Jacobson there as well as Johnson. Prestige and Johnson left it, so Prestige said, I'll take the mark. Hayden Prestige, right foot kick out wide. Di Virgilio direction. Spoiled by Duncan. Hillier was there with Wood. Wood slides over, stands up, takes it, got tackled from behind. That's on the footy. As Manon Johnson takes it and wins. The free kick comes inboard to Suter, who can handball off to Wilson. And there's Wilson Watch. Another kick inside 50, delivery to Britton. Big pack, no one can mark. Rennett's was there. Handball out wide. The defence of the Lions this afternoon has been fantastic. Grant gets it out towards Farrell, who can lumber after it, mark it, and then deliver inside 50 to Van Dyke, who doesn't mark the first time, but takes it, swings around, right foot kick. It's all too easy at the moment for the Lions, as Butler marks 45 out. Will unload right on the 50. It's going back. No one's on the line except for the Tigers at Hearn marks.
Hearn relieves a bit of pressure once he kicks the ball, obviously.
He come back through the goals then.
He's gone back through the points once he marked it. Momentum took him through the points, and then he's come back through the goals.
Good call, boys.
I don't get this rule, if you talk about dodgy rules.
Yeah.
What does it matter whether he goes back through...
Yep. One side or the other.
Anyway.
What does the umpire say? Come back and kick it over your mark. If that's the case.
I don't get it.
True.
Anyway, the point is the result. 41-point margin in favour of the Lions. Hearn marks the ball just outside his own defensive goal square. His kick outside defensive 50. Musil puts some pressure on.
Umpire lets it go.
Let it go a long time. As Moe kicked 3 goals in his last term, blown the margin out to 41 points. And both teams just looking to get their players through the last 20 minutes or so and go into next week's game with a fresh group, as Biffin reads a play off the pack on the wing, handballs over the top looking for Austin Byrne. He can't gather, but he is receiving a free kick. Free in the back, bit over his arse in a tackle there were the Tigers, and Austin Byrne is going to take the kick on the wing, handballs out to Biffin. Biffin goes long down the line, looking to find and finding. James Di Virgilio wheels around quickly, goes inside 50, great pass. Stanley can't gather. At ground level, Farrell doing the roving, handballs over the top, can't find Webber, good pressure from the Tigers. Going to ground there.
He's going to call it.
No, he didn't call it. Thought it might have been dragged in for a free kick.
Just a quick one, boys, around the grounds. Unfortunately, Benny McKay is down after a big clash. The stretcher was called out for him for the debutant for North Melbourne. So, fingers crossed for the Gippy boy down there for North Melbourne. As a free kick's been paid from the stoppage here against Moe, and it'll go towards Dan Musil, who just handballed it or handed it off to Suter, who kicked it out towards Britton.
How's the set up a Moe as Moore were trying to get the footy out though. As soon as he looked up, there was 4 or 5 Moe players all around the forward 50. They're just structurally sound at the minute.
Yeah, they are. Wilson received the handball from Michaelides, who kicked it out towards Cantrell. Kicks it towards now Hutchison in front of Reynolds and couldn't quite gather that one that goes over for a boundary throw in.
He's been pretty solid, Charlie Reynolds.
Yes.
Across the back line for the Lions.
We're looking for a score out of obviously the Druin game. Druin watch at the moment too. They're looking for their first win of the year. They certainly played a great half at least. Blazer strength from the stoppage. Kicks it though, and Hearn takes the uncontested mark for the Tigers. Comes towards Jacobson, half-back flank. He goes back inboard. Wilson not going to get this one. Suda was there as well. Webber. Suda now picks it up. Di Virgilio decided to bump, then tackle. Swung him around 360 degrees. The umpire said play on. Quick kick by Kennedy to Anderson. Right foot kick out wide. Found Callaway out there. Callaway, right foot kick in front of McDonald. But Tommy Long reads this football very, very nicely. And the general down back for the Lions marks. And he's been told to switch it because all the numbers out here for the Lions. He does that. Gets it out towards Scott Van Dyke. The Lions lead it by 41 points at the moment in this final game of the 2017 TRFM season. Of course, these two sides will play next week in the finals. Biffin, handballs over the top to Greg. Greg's kick down the line is out of bounds on the full. We've said that a few times.
Do you call that a post-penultimate, Scott? Is that what it is?
At this final round?
Yeah.
No, it's just a final round.
That's a bit of a letdown after last week, isn't it?
Yes, it is, because the penultimate last week, I see where you're going with it, but I'm not really enthusiastic about it.
A little bit boring final round, isn't it?
It is. As it goes out of bounds on the full again, and the Tigers kick in. That was
from out on the full free kick.
Exactly.
It was almost the same from the Lions. Kicked along down the line and a spoil from Carl Woodkey.
It'll be interesting to see, just looking now at the Tigers bench, they've got Ryan Tatterson down there. It'll be interesting to see if he gets back at all in some way for this Tigers side, such an important midfielder this year for them.
Well, Grinstead Jones is down there as well, so he'll be the other one they'd like to get back in.
There's a Henderson as well, but I don't think he'll play. As Siddle kicks it down towards half forward, big push out. And it didn't matter because the big ruckman Farrell takes a mark. He's been fantastic this afternoon. He's been one of the contenders for the best on ground for the Sale Greyhounds. As Lee got it at his toes, kicked towards Butler. He can turn around and deliver towards Di Virgilio, who marks half forward flank. And similar to the first time these two sides met, where the Tigers got away to an early start and then Moe clawed them back and dominated, that's what's happened so far. As Dugan got up high, couldn't mark it. Prestige swooped on it, kicked it around his body to the hot spot. Can a Lion pick it up? No. Van Roy fumbles it? No. A big strong tackle on the last line. And the umpire says you're lucky, but I'll ball this one up.
Ainsworth was there, sweeping around, looking for his fourth. Would have been much to the delight of the Canberra. Let's get in his hands, get him another one. No one really contested. Wilson gathers, handballs over the top. Finds Van Roy, back to Wilson. Over the top to Duncan, going to go back to Wilson again. He does, but it misses a target. Puts the pressure on. Rosado, tackled. It's still deep in Moe's forward 50.
Good pressure.
Pressure comes to Ainsworth, but the umpire has called for a ball up. Where's the theatre in that?
Where's the my ball? The ball was bobbling around.
Yeah. Nonetheless, directly in front of Moe's goal. Going over the top was Siddle, comes out the back to Di Virgilio, socket off the ground by Manor Johnson, gets it outside defensive 50, good pick up by McDonald, tackled strongly by Tommy Long, driven into the ground, no free kick either way, ball up.
Quick around the grounds check in North Gippsland football, 3/4 time, Sale City 6-7-43, leading Hayfield 8-7-55. That's the qualifying final there.
Hayden Britton farms a handball out to Johnson, running off the half-back flank, goes out to the wing and finds Callaway. Callaway marks on true centre wing. Waiting for some young Volt, chips it over the top as Michaelides misses a target. Biffin there for the Lions, good pressure by Michaelides. Tackle comes straight away and we'll have a ball up on Morwell's side of the wing.
Just to me, it doesn't seem like Morwell will get their ball in their hands as much. Paul, apart from Wilson, who's their next highest ball winner?
Michaelides 21 and Manor Johnson 22.
Well, the Lions again get it in their hands. Lee has it, kicks it high high in the air, waiting for Dugan to mark. Good spoil over the back by Weatherall. He's played well this afternoon as Hogarth runs onto that one. Handballs to Johnson. His kick goes around the body, and guess what? Close to the line. Farrell's there. Picks it up, stops. Handballs to Butler, who comes in board. Oh, this is way too easy now. Weber marked it, gave it to Stanley, chips it in board to Nathan Lee, who marks inside 50. Handballs on quickly. Weber's kick was smothered. Wood was there. Turns around, got tackled by Duncan. Just got his handball away. Working hard. Wilson again, he's been fantastic. Easily Morwell's best. Handballs out wide to Johnson. Johnson's kick goes high. Farrell's out there with Hillier, and over it goes, boundary throw-in.
Wilson 39.
Oh, we're on 46. What, 15 minutes has gone. The all-time world record is 46 by Russell Cowan.
What he got in his favour is that he likes to link up with the 1-2s.
Yeah.
Pick up a few in quick succession.
Are they cheap ones, Makey? You wanted to say it, didn't you?
From this stoppage, Wilson's walking off the back of this pack. Not good enough, Tommy. Get over there.
Got to learn from your mistakes, Makey.
It's all one way in terms of the scoreboard.
Moving on.
That's a 41-point margin, 41-point margin in favour of Moe. Late in 15-minute mark of this quarter, as ball comes back into play. Butler handballs to Blazer, quick kick inside. Van Roy didn't mark it. Ainsworth is there. He's got 3 goals, looking for another one. Van Roy sweeps on it, gives it to Hogarth. Hogarth kick goes out down the line. Farrell again plonks himself in front of this one. Play on to the umpires, touch, so Hillier swooped on it. Took it off the hands, gave it to Siddle, who kicks it high down the line. Greg comes off his opponent. Tries to win it there, was a Macice. Britt tried a little soccer kick forward to McDonald. He tries a pony trick handle over the top to Hillier, to Giat. Biffin was there to put some pressure on. McDonald now has it. Biffin tackles him as well. And the umpire says holding the ball as Tyson Biffin is relentless down back in the back half for the Lions, just slowing things up.
Back six has been phenomenal, particularly in this second half. It's a 50-metre penalty.
I reckon that was in the middle, Wilson.
He does. Let's take a possession off him for that.
He's got, it might be it. He's gone back all the way.
Thought it was another one too, Maggie.
Well, it might be because he's...
Put his hand up to his mouth.
I thought he was going to continue walking. It's still, nonetheless, it's still a long 50 metres as Biffin goes out wide, finds Butler, half forward flank, comes inside, gets called to play on. Going to go to the corridor. Player set himself, look in front, no one goes up. 2 more Tigers defenders spoil themselves. Scott Van Dyke gets his hands on the footy.
Who too?
This time he finds his brother Jaden Van Dyke.
Interesting that Joel Suter hasn't played at all, I don't think, since about the middle part of the third quarter.
Oh yeah, he got 4 possessions early in the quarter.
Really?
Then he's come on.
He's been on.
Kicking 3 handballs.
Well, I have been seeing him standing there for a long, long time.
Yeah, he has been off for a while.
As Van Dyke, look at that for a kick. There's a great one. Michaelides put it through there a couple of in that third quarter. And Van Dyke was up to the task there. Jaden Van Dyke, that's as beautiful kick as you'll see this afternoon.
Yeah, Moe are looking very, very promising for next week. I've said it a few times now. I just can't see a weakness in any line. I think everywhere on every line, their defenders have been brilliant. Their on-ball brigade is sensational. And they've got the forwards there who can compete and scrap out goals. They're looking really good for next week.
And it's a 47-point margin in Moe's favour on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. They're 11-13, 79 to Morwell 5-2-32.
Still trying to get some scores for you for around the grounds. We've got a couple of interesting games. Back here though, Musil got it up. Gave it to tapped it out towards Siddle, who came off the line. To Michaelides, right foot kick towards Hutchison. He's gone over the top where he wants to go there. Does this side, he comes back inboard. Gia, big strong lead. Good spoil by Redditz. Hilly was over the back. Di Virgilio pushes him over. Long, again another handball. Over the top to Butler. They get it further out wide. This time Van Dyke, the goal scorer, Jaden, kicks it towards the wing. On top of Wood's head. Couldn't quite mark it. Kennedy spoiled, close to the boundary again. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in. At the 19-minute mark of this final quarter. And we are stuck on, what are we on? Tom Wilson stuck on
39.
39 touches. He is 7 short of the all-time world record. Good till tap down towards Butler. Quick kick. There's Wilson. Gets a handball away towards Johnson. Johnson's a free kick to Tom Wilson as well now.
There's 2 possessions.
Yeah, he got the handball away. Of course it does.
Yeah.
as Wilson,
Come on, Springer.
half back flank.
1-2.
He's looking for the 1-2. He goes, no, he does. He kicks it out wide. Kennedy.
Stay there.
He might get this one back inboard. No, he's too busy trying to have a look at Luke Webber as Kennedy kicks it towards Michaelides. Can't quite mark it. There's Webber. Not quite getting it at ground level now. He goes in. Rosado put his strong body on the line. Squeezes a handball out. Falls in the hands of Butler. Left foot kick goes down the line towards Ainsworth. Anderson was in front. Takes off. Gives a handball to Kennedy. Kennedy chips it over towards Wilson. He's got two to make now. He's got it. Spins around. Handballs one to Rosado. Rosado goes out wide to Johnson. He's got time. Johnson kicks it inboard to Siddle. Marks it. Oh, the handball out the back. Didn't go there. Siddle's kick's going to be a turnover. Jaden Van Dyke marks it. Kicks it out towards Nathan Lee.
Nathan Lee's got Van Roy for company, taps it out in front of himself, runs onto it, gathers, takes him on. Van Roy, great tackle, that's got to be holding the ball. Umpire says no. Both players go back at it again. And again, that's got to be holding the ball. Weber suckers it off the ground. Stanley bounces over the top of his head. Steve Virgilio runs to the boundary, puts it on the ball. Oh, that's a fantastic goal, and he gives the Canberra nothing. James Steve Virgilio, take a bow, son. That was our 420 goal of the day.
You beauty, 4 and 20.
No doubt at all. Running towards the boundary, 25 metres out, dribbled and jumped the people on the line. It was sensational.
And on the Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, 21-minute mark of the final quarter. Murray 12-13-85, leading all 5-2-32.
Wow, what a goal, James D. Virgilio. Great call, Troy. The Canberra erupted. James didn't want a piece of it. Well
done, Luke Van Roy too. There was good persistence there, wasn't it?
Back in the middle. Johnson taps it high. Van Dyke. Wilson's out there. Play on to the umpire. Wilson just got in the back of Van Dyke. The umpire said no. We'll ball this one up. This game is done and dustbin. All Moe in the final quarter. They've slammed on 5 goals to nothing in this last quarter to blow this margin out to 53 points.
No score for more at all.
Well,
It's been disappointing.
Is it a trap?
No.
Quick handball from Britton was out to Johnson, who kicks it down towards Jacobson, marks it.
What do they call it? Rope-a-dope?
Yeah, Jacobson kicks it in towards Tommy Long. Has been unbelievable for the Lions, who took the mark, and no, it wasn't paid.
No barrels today though.
No, disappointing, but he's had a great game for the Sale Greyhounds.
Is this Van Dyke you coming off his Springer?
Well, that's the last thing you want at the 22-minute mark of the last quarter.
Keep an eye on him.
Play each other. Good work. Football in dispute inside the Tigers forward 50. Comes to Hutchison. Quick kick was smothered. Wood was there working tirelessly as he always does. Help back there. Falls in the hands of Hillier, who's a flying shot at goal. Gets to the goal line. Long's back there with McDonald. McDonald close. Long just shoves him over the boundary line and says, let's throw this one in.
I reckon it's fingers, Scuzz.
Yeah.
Well,
Rounds for Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland in the AFL. The Pies have beaten the Demons, Scuzz.
Yeah, that's why I went quiet for a while there.
That's what I thought I'd make mention. Comes to Jacobson out of the boundary throw in, and he hits the left.
So is Melbourne out now, boys?
No, we need the Crows to beat West Coast. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Don't know, don't care.
They'll take that.
back here, Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard. Paul Carter.
Wilson.
Sorry. No possession.
No possession.
It is 52-point lead to Murray, 12-13-85 to 5-3-33, 23 minutes of the last quarter.
Rosado kicks towards Siddle, who from 50 metres going to unload of a flying shot at goal. Daniel Siddle
Hit the post.
has hit the upright for another minor score. 51-point margin now in favour of the Lions. North Melbourne, Troy.
Up by 45 points, and Ben Brown's kicked 7 goals straight.
Gee whiz.
Two goals behind Josh Kennedy.
South City are now in front at the 14-minute mark. They're a goal in front. 14-minute mark in the final quarter. Rosado handballs back to Anderson here. Kicks it out wide towards Johnson, who can mark and play on and kick it towards Hutchison, who's on his own, and will mark and go back, have a shot. Looking for the Tigers' first goal in this last quarter, but only the second goal in the second half, and it's been all one way since quarter time, and it has an uncanny resemblance to the first time these two sides met, albeit that the Tigers only kicked 3 goals in this first quarter here. They kicked sixth on that occasion. So really, the Lions have got the wood over the Tigers, and it might just mean a little bit going into next week's cutthroat elimination final as Hutchison puts it on his way. He gets a little bit of air into it, holds up, falls short. Back there was Callaway. Tried to handball to Cantrell. Jacobson's kick was smothered. There's a free kick off the ball here. And it is going to the Tigers. And it will be the Tigers players don't even know who it is.
I'll tell you what, I reckon it was James Jacobson.
No. I think it might have been Zach Cantrell.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But James Jacobson put this one on its way and looked to become the only multiple goal scorer for the Tigers this afternoon. All singles so far. They've only got 5 for the day. Jacobson puts it through. It's all through the middle. Jacobson's got 2. And that's only their 6th of the afternoon.
One interesting thing that I've noticed today, especially after half time and I'll say halfway through the third, there's no real differences in structure, is there? Both teams are pretty much staying to exactly the same structure. You'd think if Morwell were down by 30 or 40 points, they'd change something, but at the minute they've just kept it exactly the same as what they had in the first few quarters. Whether that's a ploy for next week or not, that's another story. But the only thing I've noticed is Suter on the bench for the majority of the last.
The Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, we've got Murray 45 points in front, 12-13-85 to Moore 6-4-40.
Quick around the ground skip check. Harvey Norman Furniture Gippsland scores. I can let you know that Bruthen have won the Omeo District Grand Final, beating Lindenow South up there.
Handball over the top, Johnson runs inside 50, handballs to Jacobson, gets the old 1-2, Johnson runs on, scrappy kick forward for goal. Just goes across the face and goes through for a minor score.
You've got a score update for us as well, Troy.
Yeah, Mid Gippsland second semi-final action saw Yanar defeat Yalore North on 4 points, and we'll go into a grand final in 2 weeks' time.
Unbelievable. The Yalore North curse may continue again after losing the last 2 grand finals and finishing on top again.
Pascal's back, Yalore.
Britton crashed his way through, gave it to Hillier, who squeezed a handle out towards Johnson. Nice kick. Found Cantrell, who dropped the mark that he should have taken. Cantrell had to work hard for it now at ground level. Second effort was okay. Gave it to Jacobson. His kick was luck's a fortune there. He was tackled as he kicked it, which caused his kick to go backwards and ended up landing in the hands of Koi Giath, who directly in front will go back and have a shot. They trail by 44 points though, the Tigers, as we're keeping you up to date with scores around the ground this afternoon. Thanks to Harvey Norman Furniture, there's plenty of exciting games happening. The Maroons look like they're home over Warragul, which will mean they'll hold on to a top 3 spot. And the Tigers and Lions will play each other next week as Giath comes in and looking for the Tigers 2 in a row. And they've got it. It's the first time since the first quarter, the first 2 goals of the game, that the Tigers have 2 in a row. This time, Koi Giath gets his for the afternoon.
I think that's a little bit of reward for effort for Koi. I think he's had especially the first half, he had a really good game. He's put a lot of pressure on, and the 3 and 4 efforts, which I think he's done really well. So that's a good reward for effort for Koi.
Harvey Norman Electrical Gippsland scoreboard, Murray 12-13-85, Moore 7-5-47, 28 minutes into the final quarter.
Can't be too much longer to go as the ball's back in the middle. 39-point margin. Staff and Siddle. Siddle gets it back to Rosado. Rosado gets a kick outside the centre clearance. I think it's the umpire.
Just run into the umpire.
Could get reported.
Letting have a free run at it. He's tackled by Giath.
Hold the ball.
For holding the ball. Giath wins a free kick. Half forward flank for the Tigers. Looking for an option. Plays on. Goes to Coral. That's a great kick. Hutchison closing. Spoiled by play on advantage to Siddle.
You don't do that to Hutchison.
Have a look at him. Sids, you have got to be kidding me.
He is still looking at him too.
Jeez, that's funny.
He's got to run over to him.
Had the teapot on the hips, didn't he?
Oh dear. Football back into play as Nathan Lee for the Lions runs away. They get to centre wing, do the Lions. It's been all Moe this afternoon. Kick towards half forward. Van Roy was back there, couldn't quite win it. Hogarth dived on the football, then just got it out. Crashing his way, Di Virgilio again working hard at ground level. Where's Hutchison now? Still hands on hips. Look at him.
He's gone over towards the boundary line.
And he just said that Charlie Rennett, I would have kicked that. As Rennett said, it wasn't a free kick, pull your head in, beast. This football has gone out of bounds on the full, believe it or not, out there, boys.
There is a game on?
29 minutes, yes. Well, it's all one way. 29 minutes last quarter, and the margin 37 points. Right on, the final siren sounds, as these two sides will shake hands and say, we'll see you next week, boys, because that will be your elimination final. The first game of the finals next week. It all sets it up, but today, the Moe Lions were absolutely dominant in the second half. They win it this afternoon, 12-13-85, defeating the Tigers 7-6, 48, 37-point margin. And Springer, there's a few boys on ice down there.
There is, isn't there?
No doubt it'll just be for precautionary reasons. But it'll be interesting to see where you go. Who are you going to go see down there, Springer?
I'd like to bring up to the box Peter Ainsworth, if you're cool with that, Makey.
We are very cool with that. Why wouldn't Troy be cool with it?
He's a legend.
Hey.
All right, who are you going to get now for us then, more importantly, before
I'm not
the
sure,
boys go on?
actually.
Farrell.
Farrell, yeah, get the big Farrell, get the big ruckman.
Farrell.
Talk about the 360-degree wrist with him and see how he goes. He's at the back of the pack. Well, there you go, do your thing, Springer, while we have a little chat amongst ourselves here this afternoon, which is what we've done all afternoon. It's been a, well, what do we make of the game, boys? Entertaining one early, pressure was on, Tigers held sway in the first quarter, and then after that it was all Moe, and they were just dominant, weren't they, Scuzz?